You guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Oh, well. Good evening, and good evening. This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GubsRadio.com. We are live here at the 2022 AC Beer Fest live at Bader Field. Was that better? Was that a better intro since I flubbed the first one?
Yeah.
Now we're going to keep going. We are here with my co-host and picture taker extraordinaire, Mr. Steven. We are here with our producer, Tom. He's here hanging out for the intro. And we are here with our buddy, Rick, from Barrier. Barrier made its way down to New Jersey, right here on the shore, to pour some beer for everyone in the New Jersey.
I thought they closed down.
No, that was Barrage.
Not
Never
Barrier.
mind. Keep mixing that up,
No, that's
Steven.
right. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's right.
We're good for another year.
These guys know
They know what
at
the
least
fuck
one
they're doing.
more, and then we'll go from there. So what's going on, guys? How's it going? I'm excited. It's a beautiful day, as everyone can
shit
tell.
it is.
This guy's going to pour beer out of a trash
Garbage
can.
can.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to
so
be
fucking
fantastic.
awesome.
Oh.
We'll try to turn the camera around at one point. I usually have a second camera set up that we can kind of see. You can see the people watching that we do here.
Those wheels you hear rumbling.
It's really early. Show doesn't start here on Saturday until 2 o'clock p.m. It is now around like the 12:45 mark. So we figured we'd jump on, get Rick on before he gets busy and everyone else gets busy, and do our intro. So we set it up for the people. For the next 2 hours, we're going to be interviewing people from all over New Jersey, representing breweries, representing their brands and their liquids, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have some friends on. We saw Will from Twin Lights. We saw Dan from Ross. And anyone else can spare a few minutes in this melee of beer pouring over the next few hours. We'll be here today, and we'll be back here tomorrow.
Oh, yes, we will.
2022 is going to be a good year. Steven, quick thoughts about Beer Fest before we begin.
You know what? Last year, it was like that last minute they were able to do it, and it was it was good.
Yeah. Oh, it was good, yeah.
But it was different. It was,
Okay.
This year, it's just getting here, everything seems nice and compact and close, and you could really just mingle around where we were talking about earlier when you first got in last year. Those breweries didn't see anybody for hours because everybody went towards the main area.
So for people watching at home, so straight down this way is where the entrance is, but it was way down there on this airstrip, and they had all these breweries lined up here, and yeah, they get hit from the first wave, but then everyone made their way into this whole area that's over here, and never came back until they were leaving or super drunk and throwing up.
Yeah.
And it was not really good for them. So they changed that. They moved everything up. So now everything's in this little circle here, and you can pretty much start on one side, walk all the way around, and try to get a beer from everybody. And they integrated the vendors in between breweries, like we're in between breweries, which is actually really freaking cool, because now we're able to, just drink
I believe
at willy-nilly
last
as we
year
need
they
to.
had a lot of vendors.
We had to walk everywhere to get beer last year.
Yes,
we
did.
had to leave the
Like
table,
a
get
lot of
beer,
walking.
bring back, and that's it was fine. I was very concerned, but here we're much closer to everybody. I'm actually really excited about that, and that's not just because we got prime seating. It's just the way they designed it this year. So yeah, I agree with it. Much better.
Bro, in the bands.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right, so today we have what's the opening?
Thrice.
Is it Be Well?
It's
Be Well starts today,
I think it's Be Well,
and then Thrice,
and then
Alkaline Trio.
Alkaline Trio.
And
There you go.
tomorrow is a local band that I have not heard of, but I'm excited to see who they are. Then one of my new and up-and-coming favorites, 4 Years Strong,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Newfound Glory. So as you go through our show today and tonight, you will hear some music, some loud stuff happening, and you'll probably hear some of these bands in the background as we kind of hang out and do our thing and talk to breweries and people from all over the New Jersey area.
Goalkeeper is the local band.
There we go.
Goalkeeper, thank you. And we got some local buddies here. Of course, like I said, Rick from Barriers here. Just came on quick at the end of Burgerology Fest, right? Were you able to get on, right, at the very end? Yeah, cool. I do so much editing, I don't remember. Alewife is here from Queens, Astoria, Queens, right? And hopefully,
check that out.
Yeah, we got to go over there and hang out and see what Patrick's up to, or if Patrick came down or somebody else.
My buddies from Strung, which is a company that makes jewelry, like bracelets, like these are from Strung.
Oh, okay.
But they take guitar strings. They're actually all in a band called Blame Shift. That's played in Warped Tour and all that. And they're here today, and they actually have some strings like from Dave Elson, like some of the metal bands that they make actually necklaces with. You
get money for anything,
bro.
You repurpose a lot of stuff. I'm not meaning like they're doing that, but I'm just saying the repurposing is really
what it was. You're on tour and you're just constantly replacing strings,
ripping through
and just throwing them away.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Might as well do something. Yeah,
awesome idea.
These bracelets are awesome.
Tommy, you've been here for 2 years now. Talk to me a little bit about your expectations and what you think is going to happen, and the setup, everything new, everything old. What do we got?
Yeah, I can tell you I'm already off to a good start because my goal for this beer fest, it's not to have a specific brewery's beer, but it's to just expand my horizons more, because to be honest, I was never a sour guy, but this pour that we got from Barrier today, this is delicious. I'm trying to nurse it just to savor it. Yeah,
it's a nice day.
It's like
you have a nice fresh beer. Yes, there you go. Tell us a little bit about it. So what's the name of it?
It's Rosado Limon. It's our sour number 7 in this series. So it's like they're all named our sour, but there's a different number and different whatever fruit edition is. And this one's raspberry, lemon, and lactose. But the lactose is very subtle. It's I don't feel it's over the top. It's not super thick or anything like that. It's pretty light, and it has like a nice tart finish. You definitely taste the raspberry, a little bit of lemon on the back end. But yeah, it's very easy drinking, perfect for this weather too.
Not overly tart, almost like a little salt content in there. It gives it that little almost goza feel, but it's still got a little pinch to the tongue. So you guys, have you been doing one a month? What's been the schedule for these?
About one a month. Yeah. Sometimes there'll be 2. It depends on like how it lands. Sometimes there'll be 2 like in 1 month, like one in the beginning, one in the end.
Okay.
And usually it ends up being one a month, unless it's like the brew schedule is a little
Are they
different.
just brewery exclusive, or are they being distributed?
They're all being distributed.
Yeah.
Awesome. They're like part of our like limited release like specialty program. So we do that's where all the collabs, the special edition IPAs, like the money one-offs and things like that, and the sours are all available for pre-order for good like accounts and good beer distributors. And then like we also have some extra too. It's not like the pre-orders only, but we usually like to judge how much to make, so we do pre-order, and then like whatever we brew a little bit extra for some people to grab.
Is that not a new thing, but is that like a well-practiced thing to kind of pre-order things, so that way you know what kind of total you're trying to match or have?
Yeah, they started doing it like before the pandemic. I remember I wasn't working for them at the time, but I remember getting the sheets to place pre-orders, and I'll be like, oh yeah, give me one of everything.
Right.
But then like during the pandemic they weren't doing that at all, because I guess it was just like people wanted stuff, places were closed. It was a different time.
I mean, all the restaurants and bars were basically closed. They weren't really selling much.
Yeah.
It was all like off premise, and now that everything's starting to be normal a little bit, they're starting to go back to trying to do that, just to like judge how much to make, and plus like it's less stressful for like the accounts too, because like it's not like, oh, this is a crazy collab with like other half or whatever, it's gonna sell out. It's like, no, if you pre-order you have it. Like it's not like you have to worry about missing it or something like that. If there's 20 kegs but you pre-ordered one, you don't have to worry, and then it just shows up when it comes in.
Makes sense. I mean, it just feels like it's a more efficient way to kind of go through the process and have the right amount, so you're not sitting on stuff for months at a time. Have you guys been consistently barrel aging as well throughout this entire time?
We don't really do a lot of barrel aging. We'll do sometimes we'll do a stout, and it'll be like on whiskey spirals or something, bourbon spirals, where it's like kind of gives that little bit of taste to it, but it's like a quicker way to do it. because we're always turning around so many different beers.
You have a lot of one-offs, so it's
Yeah, so it's like there's always something new in the tank. So I think they don't like have a lot of, they don't want to leave stuff for so long to age. But it would be cool.
It just takes room to fucking store barrels.
Yeah, it would be cool to do for like a special release if we can get the bottling set up. Like we haven't bottled anything in a long time, but if we can get the bottling.
That's where
thing
I would notice you had some old stuff that was, you know, you had like the
shit. I think the last bottle I had from you guys was Morticia.
Yeah, we some of our the guy that does our graphic design.
What's the big red button one? That's the one I had. It was a guy hitting a big red buzzer.
I forget the name.
Yeah.
We make so many of these beers, so it's tough to keep track, honestly. But the guy that does our graphic design Daniel Birch. He's been doing our can art for like a long time, and he's a really cool guy. He comes by the brewery sometimes, but he's not the biggest craft beer guy, but he likes like some of those aged beers and stuff, and he just like holds on to stuff. So like he has like just like a fridge full of like barrier gems that he'll break out every once in a while, because he's been doing our graphics for so long. And for a while he was like, when we would do those special release bottles, he would get like a case and he would just save them. So the other day he brought by some Exilla, which is like a saison that he's aged for like 4 or 5 years.
Wow,
in
that's
glass
an old
bottle.
one. That's an old one.
He brought by a bunch of like limited Morticias. Yesterday he brought by a Morticia can, but from 2018. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, he'll bring stuff from 2016. You know, he has like all these gems just sitting.
And the thing too is, you guys probably have none of that.
We don't have any of it ourselves. He brings
I know.
it in.
I still get people that are like, "Hey, I got a can of this." I'm like, "Fuck, I haven't seen that." And how do you still have that?
You know, I'm a collector, right?
We don't have a stash or anything.
A bunch of stuff, like one can of a lot of different things you have. One exploded, by the way. Not bad. No, Barrage.
Oh, Barrage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one it was.
Yeah,
the sugar probably did it.
Yeah, but it's been in the fridge though. It hasn't really.
Yeah, there was two of them that we did. One was the Raiders of the Lost Dark. That was every single can exploded.
Damn.
Every single one.
It's like every Home D is calling you.
We sold it to freaking Total Wine, and it was out on the floor, and it just one day they came in.
Like 4th of July one day.
Yeah. One day they came in, and as they're walking in, they heard.
Yeah, like that scene from the Kingsman.
Yes.
Right? When all the heads pop off.
Yep.
That's crazy. You guys, you've been operating. You haven't been down here actually.
I've never been to this
AC
fest.
Beer Fest.
No, I've never been. This is my first time.
Expectations, Rick. What are we thinking here?
Well, I think it's gonna be definitely some good bands. Everybody was excited. Like I was telling people, I was like, oh, if anybody wants to come, like I have an extra ticket. But everyone was like, oh, like I can't make it. Like I'm friends with a lot of industry people, so it's like Saturdays are hard. They're always like working, bartending, whatever. So but everybody was like looking at the lineup. They're like, oh, this looks awesome. So definitely gonna be good music, and definitely trying like different beers. I haven't tried like a ton of New Jersey beer, but I've been to a couple of fests in Jersey. So I've had like some of like the Cape May stuff and some other stuff.
Beach House
that's here, yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely try some different stuff I haven't had before, and I feel like it's going to be pretty busy. It's a nice day too.
Yeah, we'll try to get you some stuff. We grab your cup when we go out and grab some stuff. I want to talk a little bit about what I know you kind of gave us a little update on what was going on for the future. You guys are expanding. Obviously, that's why you're down here. What other states are you guys kind of contemplating to kind of reach out to and get involved with?
We're in most of all the states. I mean, Bobby like kind of plans out wherever, like if we're gonna expand distribution, but we have been
and Europe.
Yeah, we were in,
and then just stays there for weeks at a time.
What's the new one?
We're in Europe, and I think he's gonna be sending some stuff to South Korea possibly. They were
working on
South
Korea.
South Korea.
Last time I was there, so that should be cool.
What? That I mean, what does it take to get beer to South Korea? That's my question. It's going to be kegs, obviously.
Yeah.
You're really not going to be able to sustain.
They're going to do like a big. Usually, we could do like one big shipment, and then like whoever distributes down there will like send it around.
Okay,
like,
so you basically you're like going
how they
through
do
a
it in
distributor
Europe.
and
and they ship it all over the place. I think Europe it might be just one guy, like one place, and he like sends it all over.
One dude.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
One distributor. Yeah.
That's so cool.
But
so cool.
Bobby knows more about that than I do. He's like in the logistics of those things.
Well, Bobby, where the fuck are you? Not here, are you?
Two kids
sizzle.
I know. I don't want to hear that. I have 2 kids. He has 2 kids. We're here. Well, even my kids are adults, but actually I have 4 kids. Well, whatever.
Who's counting?
You guys are going to have, I guarantee, a lot of people. Barrier's a well-known brand. People are going to be flocking.
Yeah. We sell over here too.
Yeah,
in New Jersey.
I'm sure people are going to see that and be
familiar.
like, "Oh, fucking Barrier's very dope."
Especially bringing that sour.
Yeah. People are going to talk about that.
That's the best one right now.
If you need any help, you got Steve here. He's experienced on the sticks. If you need to go take a tinkle,
yeah, man,
and you can jump on. We also have to our left Ship Bottom. We talked to them earlier today. We'll try to get them on as well.
With that
but
awesome
so many.
bus.
Yeah, I know. We'll probably throw that on the camera to start one of the sessions here. But really cool setup. A lot of people got a lot of stuff. People skating around. People hanging out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. One thing you have on your checklist here. What's the one thing if you could do? What would you do?
I know me.
Steve, no, I'll go Steve. Sorry. I know I'm wearing sunglasses. Get
me, I'm going over there and buying some merch and getting free weed. Oh, wait, no, I'm only kidding.
There are dispensaries here, folks.
I'm only kidding.
It is legal here in the New Jersey area.
I really just want to walk around this
like
year.
A smart move, too, on Blue Point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
God, legalize weed? Yeah.
For sure.
They partnered with those guys, so it's like they're dual, like, next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's a brilliant idea. We'll go over there, too. You think Shelly's down here?
No, I don't think Shelb is going to be down here.
Yeah, all right.
It might be somebody we know.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll figure it out.
I just would like this year, because last year we were just kind of all over the place, just like to kind of walk and take in all the different breweries and see something that we normally won't get, because a lot of breweries will bring something special that is either only tasting room exclusive, or they did it just for this, just for the goddamn festival. So I'm interested.
Is that a helicopter?
That's
Sounds like it.
Oh.
There was one.
Gas-powered Jeep or something like that. I did see a helicopter before.
What about you, Michael?
I guess just try some new stuff. Try to get as many people as we can get on the show. Some new people who we haven't spoken with. Get people to kind of come through and introduce us and walk us through some of the beers they've been brewing. We really, even in the 2 years we've been doing this down here in AC, we really haven't cracked enough of these breweries to find out, what one is going to come out on top. We know about the hype ones that don't even show up here, but I'm not interested. I'm interested in taking a look at some stuff.
Yeah, those smaller guys.
Our buddy Louis, Lou or
Leo.
Leo, thank you, Leo. Yeah, there he is. He's from Montclair. We'll have him on a little later. We're just going to try to reach out a little bit, expand, and try to get some people to listen to the show. I just saw people scanning the QR codes out front. Nice. We have those there. People can just jump right onto the brew bag or right onto the podcast platform and listen, and then get the information that we've gotten over the past few years about whether it be Barrier or whether it be Twin Lights or whether it be Bucket Brigade.
So the boys from South 40 down over there?
Oh, yeah, South Forest, right. They got them. And then... like I said, we had Ross on in year one and been trying to put him back on for a full show. But they're a lot of fun to hang out with. They greeted me with open arms. It was very nice. So a lot of cool things going on here. This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com live at Baderfield for the AC Beer Fest 2022. Going to have a good time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Govs Radio.
This is The Wort on Govs Radio.
This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com. We heard Pete today is down in the Outer Banks.
Outer Banks, yep. I believe he's doing a boat christening.
A boat christening. Yes. That's an interesting one. That's if anyone doesn't know what that is, when you go to launch a boat, you take a bottle of champagne, break it across the bow, and then send the boat into the water.
I think
that's exciting for Pete.
I think they were using Truly though.
Hard seltzer.
Yeah, one of those
against the bulkhead.
It's a low budge. It's fine.
Right against
that's
it.
nice. Truly a religious experience.
It truly is, Vic. Truly is. Bro.
Today, joining us in the booth, we have Vic and Alyssa from the Brewery Strong, and also you are pouring several different breweries.
Yep.
And you also are under the New Jersey beer.
New Jersey Craft Beer.
Yeah,
we're here.
It's another organization. You guys are like tripling up here.
Yes.
Yeah, do it all.
Alexis and I are both.
Alexis. Sorry, did I say Alyssa?
It's fine.
That's okay.
I answer to so many things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, A?
I swear to God.
But we're
Jesus
here.
Christ. I even asked.
Listen, all good.
I'm terrible at it. Sorry.
It makes it really awkward with the Amazon in our family.
T-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
Amazon.
You know, the Alexa.
Oh, okay.
It gets yeah, kids. It's
Alexa,
fun.
My daughter has a friend, Alexa.
Yeah.
And and every time she comes over and my wife's like, hey, you guys, Alexa, you want a snack? I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I can't
how many people I'll call people and they'll be like, oh, Alexis, and then they'll be like, shut up. I'm like,
don't say Alexis or Alexa, just call her A.
No,
you get to go.
Yeah.
Every time I say, to my wife, I'm doing a show with Alexis tonight, she remembers the old Saturday Night Live skit with Sherry O'Terry and Will Ferrell, and they were the cheerleaders.
Oh, yes.
And the head cheerleader was named Alexis.
Oh. And there you go.
It's great.
So there's the connection. Make it easy.
That is the connection. So we're both South Jersey beer scene.
South Jersey beer scene. That's quadrupling up
now. New Jersey Craft Beer, NJCB, which is a great organization in New Jersey run by our friend Mike Kivowitz. And also Brewery Strong, which Alexis being one of the officers and founders of Brewery Strong.
Very cool.
I figured if we're going to talk about Brewery Strong, I wanted to bring her over so she could talk about it.
Yeah, so it's a nonprofit nonprofit that was started during COVID. What was happening was they were doing all those collaboration beers to support the industry, the restaurant and brewing industry. Sure. And we didn't have a clear nonprofit in the state that supported the craft beer industry.
Right.
So, Rob Callahan from Tuckahoe and John Kashu from South Jersey Beer Scene and I got together. We, worked it out. We got, Cindy Durama from Twin Elephant and Matt Ziegler from Zigmeister. Our other board members, Crystal from Axe and Arrow, came on board a little later. She's been awesome.
Nice.
And then we have some trustees in Mike Kivowitz from New Jersey Craft Beer, Augie Carton from Carton Brewing. Just so we have
you got Carton on board.
We're trying. Part of it was we wanted
Can we
to make
get
sure.
Carton down here?
Listen.
Kane, Icarus, give me something.
I would love it. I mean, I saw the Icarus guys here.
Well,
the
Icarus guys. Kevin, who handles the canning, he's the canninger.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There, he was there. He was at the event at the Seed yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
And Dave Menges, who's the head brewer there at Icarus, they were both here, but the brewery itself does not
represent.
Is not here today. But they're represented in spirit, if not in person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they don't actually need to be represented because they represent themselves with their delicious liquids, which we make it a point every year to kind of stop either on our way down or our way back. At one point, grab some delicious beers.
Yeah, and actually, Icarus was one of the first donors to Brewery Strong.
Yep.
Jason was a huge supporter.
Yeah.
We were really grateful to him and having him.
I take that back.
Yeah.
They were here in 18.
Huh?
Or 19. They were here in 19 at the convention center.
On the inside,
the
They
inside.
were here when
They
it
were
was
here at
inside.
one point,
They haven't been the last couple of years. The 1 year we didn't have it at all.
Right.
And 21, last year we had it.
Yeah, it's low key.
Talking about the event, the weather today is so much better than last year.
Remember the squall?
Last year, Friday night, right before the gates opened, the skies opened.
Right.
What was so cool is that off there, you could actually see the high and the low pressure hitting each other and curling over each other.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It was gorgeous to watch, and thankfully it wasn't dangerous or anything. It was interesting to be in, and it was short, but it was really cool to see come over the field.
Then it got nice that night, a little cold that night actually. Little cold.
Saturday was
nice. About 90 to 100 degrees.
It was nice.
It was hot.
So I got a text message just now. I'm not going to mention the person's name, but this person says, "Hey Steve, I'm counting on you to give Kelsey Grammer what he deserves this year," and that's all I'm going to say.
He's not here, Pete. He's not here, Pete.
How'd you know it was Pete?
Come on, who else just gives crap about Kelsey Grammer every time?
Oh my God.
No, he's not here. Sorry,
Yeah.
but we have plenty of other great.
He's doing
things
a
here.
boat christening.
Yes,
maybe he's doing a boat christening.
He got Kelsey Grammer.
I hope not.
Is he down here at the boat christening?
I hope not.
Great.
There might be a problem.
So it's a nonprofit that. So what's the ethos? So what are you trying to?
So in the middle of the COVID, crisis, what we were doing was we were supporting folks who work in the industry who were out of work or underemployed.
Really
what was interesting to watch was that a lot of the breweries were able to keep their folks on because they were doing they were open for sale on prem, like out curbside, et cetera. So we found ourselves supporting more employees of bars that carry a lot of craft beer, because one of the things that's really important to us is to understand that the craft beer industry is not just breweries. Love them, obviously. It's fueled by them, but it's also fueled by the folks that are selling the beer, the folks that are drinking the beer, promoting the beer, etc. And that's why our board is diverse. It has people from all parts of the industry, and we're trying to be supportive. So now, because folks are mostly back to being employed, we're pivoting to scholarships in the industry, and the scholarships will be open to.
That's a great idea.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it, and it's and fairly, John and Crystal are taking such a great role in making it work. But not just brewing scholarships, but tasting scholarships. So if you work at a craft beer bar or have employees at a craft beer bar and want them to be better at purveying what you're selling, we're trying to get that sort of thing going. We had 10 seats to an off tasting event at with New Jersey Pink Boots.
No. The stickers and the things, start giving them out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, all good. We had an off flavors tasting event, and it was open to anyone in the industry, and we were able to have 10 seats, to folks who were interested. So
that was a fantastic event with Pink Boots. Thanks to Jeff and Lori. Jeff and Lori at Zed sponsored it, and it really was a tremendous job when you had a Cicerone BJCP certified judge go through the off flavors there. So it was really an excellent event.
Yeah,
really was.
And so being able to like send people who might not otherwise be able to go under the Brewery Strong banner was really exciting and special. So you'll see more of that sort of thing come out from us, and
Very cool.
And I think it's really exciting to be plugging into like the interesting things that the industry in the state is growing into.
Of course. And see that's what we've been noticing over the last few years that we've been here and interviewing breweries in New Jersey. We see that same trending up that we had in New York and Long Island now coming to New Jersey only like a year or two afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the breweries that are representing here and in general for the state, unbelievable. Every time we're like, where the hell has this been?
Yep.
This is delicious. It's really, really pretty cool.
And that's like, you want the Carton Canes and Icaruses down here because, we love those guys, we love their beer, but like...
Most people know about that though already.
Right.
It's the other ones
you
that...
get to come here and try like the amazing things that New Jersey craft beer is doing and other craft breweries from around the country.
Right.
It's so exciting, it's so interesting, and I love that like folks are really kind of waking up to that. The New Jersey craft beer, it's only 10 years old. In a lot of ways, it's still really young. It's still really, growing. And God, it's getting to this wonderful point.
Well, I just, for me, I mean, coming from owning a brewery and being a brewer, I just love seeing the East Coast having even more awesome breweries that you can go to just in the tri-state area.
Sure.
Man, you come to the East Coast, you have your pick of some of the best
great ones.
breweries.
Yeah.
And that's why when
such a small
place,
in hours distance.
When I see all of these polls that are in all the magazines and Zymergy Craft Beer, it gets me, and I don't see the East Coast breweries represented. Everything is West Coast. I don't see anything in New Jersey, which has one of the best craft beer ideas and businesses in the whole country.
Right.
But when you talk to the brewers, they say, well, we are not, we're not on those have to go lists, but I think a lot of them are getting there.
Yeah, well, and again, listen, I came up in beer in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
2006 through 2009. I lived in Boulder. Basically, you couldn't trip without hitting a brewery or a brew pub or something.
A brewery next to a brewery, like a Starbucks next to a Starbucks out in Seattle.
Absolutely, just on top of each other. And so when I came back to Jersey, I thought I just didn't know beer. It was what I didn't like beer. So I came back to Jersey and I'm like, guys, where's all the beer? So like,
where'd all the beer go?
Where'd all the beer go? So to watch it happen, right? I was in Colorado at this heyday of craft beer for them. And then, to be part of it as it grows into that here is just gorgeous. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I'm glad part of this and what you're into is that and giving back into that same community. It's what kind of sustains it for the long term, and that's what you guys all want. You don't want these breweries to close down after a pandemic and then you have nowhere to go again.
Right, and that was the thing, I mean, it was really, just like sitting around and, not sitting around, but how can we be part of the solution to this? We all, saw what folks were going through and continue to go through. Yes, everything's opening up, but those, the financial strains that were caused by 2020
well, now we're in with inflation and higher gas price and everything else. Now it's like, oh, you just came out and you're like, and then boom.
One of the things that I am pleased to see that came through the pandemic is initially, I guess the prediction was 50% of all craft breweries, and that was nowhere near that number. In fact,
same in New York and Long Island. We were expecting a lot.
Wasn't
one or two, maybe.
Wasn't really more than it would be in any normal year.
Good thing you were pre-pandemic.
Just before.
I know. Just
I would have
before.
been part of it.
Right. But I do want to caution the listeners to know that it's not like we're out of the woods. The industry is still struggling, and I think you're going to see some long-term economic impact of this, and it's still important. What we saw in the pandemic, especially in New Jersey, because I saw it firsthand, was people really aggressively supporting local, and I want to make sure that folks are still doing that. Your local, your small businesses, your breweries, and it's part of the economy, right? A brewery is such a great part of the economy because they're buying local ingredients, they're buying, local grains, local hops, local juices and all that sort of thing, and it's just,
like you said, it extends way past just the brewery itself.
Exactly.
It's a domino effect up the ladder.
Yeah.
For everything involved.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, people have definitely known we were on the Hopped Up Network. You're part of that as a South Jersey beer scene.
Right.
Tell us how the podcast is going, how everything is happening. How'd you guys get through COVID?
Well, we're doing good. With my part of the of the South Jersey beer scene, I do Vic's Basement Brewcast.
Yep.
Initially started as just an audio podcast. Then during COVID, when you couldn't get together with people in person, we did some Zoom presentations too. So we kind of expanded from Zoom to do some on video. So unfortunately, people have to see my face on video.
It's lovely. We love it.
You're
We love
fine.
it.
That. But so what we're doing now is we're mixing up some audio and video. As we were talking before, when you're on audio, you can do kind of a long form.
Right.
If you use it, it's like a concept. It's like a concept album.
Yeah.
In audio, it's like a concept. You can put whatever.
Yours,
you
Illusion
want.
1 and 2.
Exactly. You can go to the left. You can go to the right. You can go on various tangents. And Alexis has been on several of my audios. We do go on various number of tangents. Actually, we had our friends from Manafurkin on.
I think it pretty much describes our podcast.
I think
our ADD kicks in like,
I'm not going to talk about the break, Alexis. But we did spend maybe more time talking about bourbon
We did.
than
And
we
drinking
did.
it.
And
that's the key right there.
the videos we wanted to keep it like a half hour or so, but the audio we expand and we go long form. That's where we can get geeky in the discussions about the type of grain we're using and the yeast and all of that type of stuff that, on a video people are, going to sleep.
Yeah.
And listening. So we get to expand.
And that's what
on
happens.
That.
I mean, you get someone who pops in on Facebook, but they'll just put it down and let the audio play.
Right.
And then you realize, that was what. Yeah. So when we first started the show back in 5 years ago, 17, we had an audio-only feed going out to iHeart. And this is when iHeart was doing like live programming as opposed to podcast level platform stuff. And we found we were getting a lot more people just listening in through their smart devices rather than watching. And I think that stayed pretty much consistent, that we have more listeners for the podcast version than we end up getting for the live video. But really, it's kind of self-serving in that we do the podcast live video for anyone who wants to catch it, but then we have it available afterwards. I think that's going to be the new trend, the new format for most people.
Right.
They'll do a video element just to have it so people can see it, but then end up going pretty much audio, which is most people pop it in the car, go on a long drive, and just go ahead and listen for hours.
My buddy Chris is a FedEx driver, and
exactly.
And while he's driving, he's got to go to his deliveries. He puts on a whole bunch of different podcasts and just listens. Us being one of them. And but I mean that's the thing.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. and that's my part of it. On Vic's Basement. But Alexis also has her own show.
Nice.
She's she's kind of a guest on my shows sometimes, but I'm going to let her talk about her show.
So mine is only video, but no, we're talking to Rich about getting the audio up.
It's really not that much.
Yeah, I mean
$150 a year, and you're on every platform known to man.
Yeah, and in South Jersey beer scene, they've been our supporters. It's called Alexis Drinks.
Nice.
Because I'm really.
Do you drink
original.
on it though?
Because
she's food.
It's called that because she does.
Excessively.
Yeah.
But no, so it's the idea is to talk to the people who make beer through the lens or alcohol at all through the lens of like what they're drinking. So like if they listen to me, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The first half of the show is like something from far afield that you drink a lot of, or has changed you in some way, and then
kombucha?
Something
Anyone?
could be. No one has done it so far, but like or then something more local that you're drinking.
Yeah.
And then the second half is of course what you're making. But like it's so fun.
Good format. I like it.
Thank you.
Good idea.
It's because it's fun. It's fun to tell the stories of like what people are doing based on like what like brought them to. Like we did a show with Pete from 7 Mile, and he brought on a Westmalle, and he was like, "This is the beer
Very cool.
that showed me that beer could be something." Elevated, like wine. Like they were talking about it like I was used to hearing talking about wine and that sort of thing. Then we did a show at like Bellevue Winery, which number one, the second half was in the vineyard, so like so much fun, like up against grapes. And he brought on like Glasstown Brewing's beer, and it was like cool to have like a winemaker talk about beer, and like Gusto, Zach Pashley from Gusto, like introduced me to Naughty Spirits whiskey because he made me an old fashioned.
Nice.
With Naughty Spirits, I think bourbon or something. And so it was it's cool. It's
when
awesome.
you're at the wineries, do you stomp the grapes?
Not yet. I'd love to.
Like an episode of I Love Lucy?
Right, correct. I Love Lexi. Come on, I think we could do this thing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So that's...
Just so our audience knows, when we get distracted, there's a girl driving around on a unicycle with like sword thing looking things with purple hair.
Did you see? She just surrounded those guys.
Yeah.
And just basically kept going around.
Yeah.
That they had no clue what was going on.
They had
that look.
surprised.
They had that look of, we might die right now.
Well, there is a theme today and this weekend. It's circus themed.
Yes.
So they have a number of people in dress walking around and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. There's a tent right across from us that's going to have a bunch of like variety type shows stuff. See a girl with pink hair over there. So there's a bunch of stuff happening around here. It's just very entertaining, we'll say.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a real good
I do want to make a comment about your tent. Oh. You have the most comfortable lawn chairs I have ever seen in my life.
These guys over here, that's all Steve.
Beautiful.
He brought those last year, and I think you ended up swapping out your chair for your lawn chair because it was just so comfortable.
I came across those one day at a local Home Depot, and they were on sale at the end of the season. I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And everybody says the same thing. Are you kidding me? These are the most comfortable lawn chairs I've ever. Yes.
The only downfall is they're big and bulky.
They're big and bulky.
Yeah, they're big and bulky.
They're big and bulky, but they are, and it's almost 2:00, and that's when my afternoon nap is.
so in a little bit we're going to be seeing Vic over there.
He's going to nod off a little bit, but that's
in the lawn chairs.
Just a couple of
shut off the audio when I'm snoring.
We'll just have Alexa. She can just start her own show right now, right? And just get it going.
Yeah, it's going to be called Watch Vic Sleep.
Yeah.
Basically.
New podcast coming. Starring Mike, Pete, and Alexis.
I'll tell you what, the fun
Mike,
thing...
Steve, and Alexis. Pete's not here christening a boat.
Well,
Pete's fine.
I'm so used to doing it in that order.
I love that. No, the fun thing about the format of the name is like I basically changed drinks to any verb that I'm doing. Like Sergio, the owner of Melavino, had just opened a restaurant or bought a restaurant in Metuchen, and I went and I was like, Alexis Eats? Can we do Alexis Eats now?
Spin-off show.
Yeah, my you guys you'll find my album. It'll be called Alexis Sings.
You can do that.
It's gonna be awesome.
My plan when this podcast finally retires itself, for whatever reason, if I was gonna do anything on my own, I'll take the same account and I'm gonna do a show where I'm gonna drink a beer and play like cover songs.
Love it.
That's good.
And play it to the actual music. Because I don't like playing acoustic guitar. I hate playing acoustic guitar. So if I want to like distortion guitar or something to mess around with, just play punk songs all day.
Nice.
The big fan of the entertainment side of this AC Beer Fest with the bands and everything. It's another attraction to the whole thing.
What kind of guitar you have?
I have a few. I have a Fender Telecaster.
Nice.
I have a Gretsch.
Okay.
Jackson.
Hollow body Gretsch?
No.
No?
No. And then the PRS.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the bird inlay.
Nice.
I forget which one. It's the Steve Mahoney special from 311. I'm a big fan of 311. So, and then I also have my original lineup, which was an Austin guitar, which had the same soap bars as pickups as the original soap bars from the things, wired and transducers and everything the same. And it sounds awesome for like half the price. And I also have like an old, I have a Carl Rebella acoustic, which I don't play anymore. And then the original all black Epiphone.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
But that one is beat to shit. That's the one I played when I played in a band, and it's just
but that's a good thing.
That's a good. I mean, some of them I keep at the studio where I teach. I have like 3 at home. I have an Ibanez bass. I have a P bass too. I like playing bass. Fender, Marshall, and Orange guitar caps.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
I go all the things.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna ask a question to you that
Steve plays guitar too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys a question then. Okay, I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, okay, all right. Interview
I'm going
Mike
to
and
ask you a
Steve.
question. It's a music question.
Okay.
Desert Island beer, Desert Island album.
Oh, look at that. He went there.
Yeah, I'm going there, yeah.
I can give you both.
Okay.
Desert Island beer.
Oh, I know where this is going.
It's Dogfish 60 Minute.
I know it.
Because I could drink it all day and never get sick of it. And Dogfish album, which I'm gonna.
Dogfish album?
Sorry.
Dogfish album?
I didn't know they had one.
Desert Island
Listen,
album. I have barely drank.
I believe they could.
The Desert Island album that I could listen to over and over again. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, yeah.
How cool would it be to be on a desert
great.
island
Wow.
with Pink Floyd all the time and Dogfish 60 Minute all the time?
Nice.
That's the matchup. If it had to be other things, I would maybe choose a different album, but that I could listen to all the time.
Steve, how about your equipment and your album and beer?
My equipment, my acoustic is a Yamaha 650X, which is a acoustic electric. And then I got 2 Jacksons.
You do have a Jackson, huh?
Yeah, I got a Dinky. And,
that's what I had, the Dinky.
And I have, what the hell is the other one? It's basically a Flying V.
Yeah.
Desert Island beer. That was a toss-up. It's a toss-up between 5 Boroughs, Tiny Juicy, and 3 Floyd's Gumball Head.
Nice.
And my album is, I immediately know it's going to be Rush 2112.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it. How about you guys?
How about you ask you this question?
No.
She's not doing it.
No, listen, no, I'm so bad at picking favorites. I can't pick. Like, I love everything. I just do. I couldn't do it.
The album thing, I'd be really upset about.
I'll go with my type, mine as of today. Okay. It may change tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, or it changes in the combination to me, too.
Yeah,
like what beer wants to go with a different kind of music.
Right. Saison DuPont.
Oh, okay.
Classic.
Can't
Saison
argue.
DuPont and Neil Young. Everybody knows this is nowhere.
Wow. All right.
Wait, here's the problem. Do we have refrigeration on the island?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because Dogfish
That does
Warm
change
kind of
some
tastes
things,
like
right?
dog shit if it's not kept relatively cool. If I find a cave like Castaway
There you go.
and I keep it deep in the cave with a little water,
Deep in the cave.
deep in the cave.
Bury it deep enough in the sand.
Yeah, it'd
and
be cool.
It'll get cool at some point.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take just a little edge off of the hot sun.
Can we talk a little bit about what we're serving over there on our tent today
please.
and what we're doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're serving stuff.
We're serving
We're
stuff.
pouring beer.
We have.
Wait, by the way, isn't that the best idea? Like, let's come to AC Beer Fest, and we have an unlimited supply of beer in front of us the entire time.
That would be great.
That's why we chose to be next to Barrier from Long Island. We know them well, and we have that. But next time, maybe we just pour and
Yeah.
we just sit here and drink the whole
Honestly,
time.
so I have a friend who's coming down, and she's like, "Oh, I have fun beers for us to drink," and I didn't answer because, like, okay, but like in my brain, I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a beer
why?
fest.
Though I was just at Omegang, and I brought.
So were we. I had Terrapin.
I was at Omegang for the Avett
No,
Brothers.
she was there at the
actual brewery.
Oh, the actual
Brew,
brewery.
nice.
Yeah. So I brought, like, I mixed up a 6-pack of bottles.
Cool.
And it's in my fridge here, but like I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna, there's so much beer here.
Yeah, just hold it for after show, after party,
Correct.
pre-party tomorrow if you want.
Something, where I'm gonna bring it back to Jersey, or I'll give it to somebody.
Yeah. There you
It's
go.
like I bought a lot of beer while I was there.
It happens.
It happens.
But yeah, it was
It's-
so easy.
And then you get home and you're like, I
don't
have cases of beer. What am I doing with
Yeah,
this?
but then 2 weeks later you go, I don't have enough beer. That's
Exactly.
me.
And
I'll
so,
get to
like-
that 2 weeks in. I'll be like, shh, I'm almost out of all this beer.
Right, and I inadvertently, so I want to cellar things, right? Like, and I got like the big bottles of things that you could absolutely cellar from Omegang, but like I'm not good at it because like I sit there and I think about it. I'm like, there's this beer in my basement. I'm gonna drink it.
Said self-will, just like willpower. Got to hold on to it. No, I'm gonna crack it. It's at night. Yep.
It's gonna happen
And
now.
and Omegang has some amazing beers there.
Oh my
You
God,
had
so
Free
good.
Philosophers when you were
Love
there.
Free Philosophers, yeah.
I didn't. I think I bought a bottle, but like neon rainbow.
Okay.
Just had some.
I had something that was like some nutty. It tasted like drinking like a caramel like nut bar. I don't know. It was amazing. I was there for this concert. I was very drunk. I had they had a
A lot of
wit.
stories start that way.
Oh my God, it was so good. You can check
Was
out
at
my
this concert. I was so
was
drunk.
so
I don't remember all of it.
but it was so good. I mean, and like they had like they were like the wit beer they had. They loved.
Yeah.
And again we drank the shit out of neon rainbows, and they had like a variation of that had been conditioned on raspberries. It was phenomenal.
Really nice.
And like I am not like an IPA drinker. I've learned to love them,
Yeah.
and but like they have like so many other things
Yeah.
that I was drinking out of.
Yeah, Belgian style
Oh.
beers. They had the Saison, the Wit, everything.
Oh, their
Yeah.
Abbey Dunkel I had.
Very.
Good. And I had to like, I'm with like non-beer drinkers and they're all going for the neon rainbows, which is, great. Their IPA, they're like, what's that and what does it mean?
Alexis, did they have the cafe open when you were there?
They had it open the next day. They weren't,
Okay.
It wasn't open while we were camping. We were camping.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
like-
camped
Oh,
there,
that's fantastic.
Camping light, because like this girl, truly, I was so bad. I had a 5-minute tent, like
Yeah.
It took me half an hour, and 4 people. It was not good. But we got it there.
Were any of them men?
Yes, 2.
Okay, so the tent
Honestly,
smelled like fart. Right, I got it. No, we understand. We got it.
Honestly, at one
drink
point,
it all day.
Like it was me, my sister-in-law, my sister, her husband,
okay,
and then at one point, a random camper.
Oh,
you
just
took
came
it
in
astray.
He was just like, I need to help you. Like, you're clearly not.
You're not prepared.
It was a 4-person tent. It was just for me.
See,
it was so bad.
That's her heart. That's why she's one of the founders of Brewery Strong. You
Yeah.
see that? That heart
Always
shines
reaching out.
through.
No, I got the help. Someone help me.
So you guys, I know you're pouring Iron Hill.
Yes.
We're pouring Iron Hill. It's from the Abyss series, Drag to the Depths.
The that's the Zig. Is the Drag to the Depths.
That's
Iron Hill
that's
is the
Zig. Yeah,
peach.
Iron Hill is the peach one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
yes.
I'm not reading this correctly.
It's almost nap time.
Zig
so you have
is almost. See, that's what happens. It's Imperial. It's got Citra, Mosaic, and all kinds of good IPA stuff for those of you who like your
Love it.
hazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm looking at Steve's shirt right there.
Yeah.
Now
I'm a
He's a
hazy
crispy
boy.
he was a
Yeah.
crispy
Love
boy
it.
and he was a hazy boy.
Yep.
And the Iron Hill is called Peach Rings, which
You know
is
those candies,
really, really nice.
The like peach rings with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sugar crystals on top. It's basically liquid that.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you, I do have to say, and I've been to different Iron Hills, or different locations, and they always do a great job. This beer, you gave that to me.
Yeah.
The aroma of the peach.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
brewer,
Yeah.
I was like,
Beautiful.
wow, they did an unbelievable job.
And-
The
and
flavor
really-
was wonderful.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
so well
pe-
balanced.
And
Yep.
the peach
Yeah.
is tough for a brewer
It
because
is.
you really. You need to really go heavy on the peach to get that peach aroma and the peach flavor. So,
And you
really
don't want
some
the
nice
pulp
beers.
unless
Yeah.
you're really making it a fruited sour or
Right.
something like that. So to extract all that without getting all those particulate in there,
Right.
Yes, I
it's
saw
definitely
that.
difficult.
Right.
I'm
very,
trying to stay
very
focused.
So we are
Yeah.
we are in I can't give people the booth numbers again.
144. We're at
144.
Yeah,
So
but this is going to air like in a week or two.
Yeah.
But either way,
Listen,
they're
we
over
have-
so you're
there.
not going to see us there.
Yes.
So
You know,
Don't
but-
come here.
well, if you want to come here
next.
next week, you might want to see where the planes used to land.
Yeah.
Or maybe there
It
will
is-
be a plane landing here.
It
I
is
don't
a
know.
very historic
Yeah.
airfield. I read up on them when they
Yeah.
first said they were doing it here. It's actually pretty cool. World War II and everything, and they
Yeah.
had a jump-off spot for protecting the eastern coast and stuff like that. It was very cool.
I think what something New Jersey needs to get better at is talking about like the parts of history that we're
Yeah.
a part
Yeah.
of. Like we have such cool, like really historic things going on, and nobody freaking knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Long Island is more known for some of those things. You go out
Yeah.
east and you go to Montauk, you see all the old forts and stuff like
Yep.
that. Used to protect the South Shore. You had the Warden Cliff where Tesla did some of his experiments and stuff like that. I mean, Sagamore Hill and Teddy Roosevelt. There's so many big things on Long Island. To do that, it brings tourists in, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
100%.
And-
People do go for just that.
Yeah, but there's so much cool stuff that happened here.
I know.
There is.
I mean, I was here last year at Cape. I went to Cape May, and so we're driving around, and I see this huge tower by the beach, Sunset Beach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So we go look, and it was they used that to spot
That was the
enemies coming towards the coast.
the guard
Yeah.
towers. That's actually all around Delaware Bay because there's
Yep.
some on the Delaware side also.
Wow.
Those
Crazy.
towers. And I live in Barnegat. The oldest tavern in New Jersey is actually in Barnegat.
Really?
It's Cedar Bridge. It's like
Let's
off
go drink there.
off a dirt road. It's off a dirt road, and I guess during weekends in the summer,
Yeah.
they do reenactments, etc. I don't know if they do the beer or the liquor reenactments, Alexis. I don't know about that.
Well, and then in Burlington is the oldest like brewery still in action. In somewhere in Burlington. Elizabeth Haddon used to brew beer. In the Haddonfield, everything. No, it's so cool.
Alexis drinks history.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
Alexis drunk history. Heck
Yes.
yeah!
That's-
Oh my god.
Actually, I
Listen,
think
kids, we're
that's
you might
what-
get a cease and desist though. The drunk history
I
part.
do think that's what the podcast that we did in the basement sounded like.
Ah.
It did sound like an episode of
Wow.
Drunk History.
Well, there you go.
And it was just one time when they did the reenactments.
Really quick, promote everything. Give me everything you guys got. Tell us where people can find it, how they can add to. I'm sure it's donation based and
Yeah.
things like that. So give us all that.
Yeah. Alexis, you can cover Brewery Strong.
Cool, yeah. So Brewery Strong at brewerystrong.org. We're all under the South Jersey beer scene umbrella. So you can find us on Facebook. We have a website. All the things. brewstrong.org, like I said, but you can also our Instagram, etc. And if you can't find us, go to southjerseybeerscene.com and you'll find us there too.
And
lots of information there.
Yeah.
South Jersey Beer Scene, Facebook, Instagram, but we also do have a YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Hit that sub button, as they say.
Hit that sub button, and you get to see shows like Alexis Drinks, Vic's Basement Brew, and other. Sometimes we'll do special presentations, etc. on there. So, make sure you subscribe and see what we're up to.
Excellent. Check them out. Really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you so much.
Alexis, have a
Appreciate it.
great day today. Great weekend. We'll see you around. We'll be hanging.
Heck yeah.
This is The Word with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com live here at the 2022 AC Beer Fest right on Baderfield, Atlantic City. We'll be right back right after this.
You're listening to Govs Radio, internet radio versus whatever that alien shit is. Whose idea was this anyway?
This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com. We are live here at the AC Beer Fest 2022, live at Bader Field in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Sitting with us is our other neighbor. We got Ricky from Barrier on to start. We have Rob from Ship's Bottom. What's going on, Rob?
Just pouring, trying to get a lot of beer out. Been really busy.
Yeah, you have, I will say, out of all the crews we've seen, you have the biggest crew here.
Yeah,
ready to pour beer.
Yeah, we've got a lot of hype people behind us, too.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
Need a good hype man with me.
You guys obviously have been here before. We saw you last year, but it was very busy. This is the time where we have trouble getting people on, but since you're right here, we try to get those people first. Tell us a little about the experience of AC Beer Fest for you guys.
It's the biggest in our area. We do the GABF. For us, this is like the second biggest that we do.
Yeah.
I started out in my garage, probably like 10 years ago. And this is one of the first festivals that accepted me to come in and actually pour beer. So I think I started doing this in 2013 or 2014.
Yeah.
So we've been here for a while. We're a sponsor of the fest. It's in our backyard. We're located in Long Beach Island. So we think this is one of the best events for us because it's a lot of people that don't know our beers or some people that really know our beers, and we're able to try new brands. Like we have a light IPA called Little Shack. That's scaled down version of the Shack. It's 4%. Ooh. It's 85 calories and 1 gram of carbs. So
that's great.
We're trying to test market all these different brands to see what really hits.
It's a great place to do it, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great test market. I mean, you just chalk it up to straight up, research and development at this point.
Yeah, a little R&D.
Yeah.
Hey, what's great too about these festivals too, you get immediate reactions from people.
Yes,
exactly.
Like as they take a sip and they walk away, they either look at their buddy or whatever, and they're like, "Whoa, you got to get that," you know. And then you get the other side, like they give that look.
They throw it at you.
Yeah. Hey, what's the swill? Yeah. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Now, since you've been here for so long, have you seen this festival? How have you seen this festival become what it is now? I know, we've been into the convention hall, great space, but there's restrictions, right? There's certain things you can't do. Last year when they did this, they had a different format in regards to space and size. Give us from your experience from being the startup to now, how it's kind of evolved.
It's great because I know in a convention center they were typically getting about 30,000 people over the weekend, which really helped out. This year was a little different where it didn't start on Friday, so I came down yesterday. We set up, we were done by 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And at that point, we went out and had some beers. The Seed, were able to relax, kick back.
I heard good things about that. We tried to get them on last year, and believe it or not a lot of people were lining up. They were within eyes distance of us. We could see it. They weren't banging. Since that year, and this is what I'm getting at with the evolution, how many breweries have you seen kind of just get their comeuppance over these last year?
Yeah, there's a ton. Yeah. And there's a lot exploding since it's kind of post-COVID now.
Right.
Sure. So
the Seed was one of them that we recognized immediately. They were doing some wacky things.
Yeah, and they
really
actually,
edgy things.
Yeah, and they actually got the best brewery in the U.S. last year, I think it was.
We saw that.
They're doing well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What else? I mean, do you prefer indoors, outdoors? What have you seen?
This format's great. I actually liked it the way better in the convention center.
Yeah.
Just time of year, I thought it was better. It kind of kicked off the spring.
Because it was April. I think.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
It was late March, early April.
Not a lot of festivals going on.
Exactly. And it just seemed like there was a lot more going on. But, I mean, now it's an hour in a festival, and there's still a line of people coming in. So
he said, he's like, Dude, there's still people coming in.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
just look down
Yeah.
and I go, they're still piling in, bro.
Yeah.
They're still coming in.
They're just like herds of people just coming in to get drunk and have a good time, which is fine by me.
All right, give us a little background. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No.
All right, well, give us a little background about Ship Bottom.
Like I said, we started in 2012 in a small garage at my house in Wallingford, Pennsylvania. Since that point, we opened a place in Long Beach Island, Beach Haven.
Beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
I have friends live right on the other side.
Okay.
Visited probably a million times.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be here tomorrow. But love the area. They actually had their wedding right on the beach.
Cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and we're right on the bay, so if you look out our windows, we get great sunsets. 15-barrel system, so it's a smaller system.
Yeah.
And then we opened a new place. I took that garage license in Pennsylvania and opened a blender in barrel house in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. So that opened in late February. So right now we're fermenting and aging in barrels. So what we basically do is we're brewing the wort in New Jersey.
Sounder.
And at that point, what we're doing is we're transferring it in our trucks to Pennsylvania, and we're pumping it out of our tanks and then pumping it into either a cool ship or into barrels.
Very
directly.
cool.
Now, is there any legality with going cross state lines between New Jersey and Pennsylvania? Is there anything you had to?
It's wort, so it's
not really
processed
fermented,
spirit.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we serve with Pennsylvania laws. We contract brew also because we can't keep up.
Yeah.
So we serve all our staple, core brands on tap. We have 16 taps over there. We're able to serve our basic beers, our core beers. We do ciders, which we have a mimosa cider on tap here today. Our seltzers, we do like a seltzer bar where we just flavor unflavored seltzer with different flavors. And then we have cocktails on tap.
Really?
That's great.
That's cool.
Now, where are you guys distributed? Is it tri-state or is it?
Right now, it's the whole state of New Jersey, and then Philadelphia and the 4 counties around Philadelphia, and then we just signed a deal with the Phillies in the beginning of the season, so we're inside.
That's great.
Citizens Bank Park.
Do you have like a mobile spot, or is it like?
No, we're throughout the whole concourse.
Okay,
I think
cool.
there's 20 or 22 stands that we're at right now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Give us a rundown of the course.
Okay, sure. So I talked about the Little Shack, our bestseller, our flagship seller is the Shack IPA. Is 6%. It's a Mosaic and Simcoe hopped and dry hopped
a little
IPA.
sexy hops.
Exactly. And then we do Barnegat Lager, which is Marzen Lager. That does really well for us. During COVID, that actually picked up for us because Yuengling didn't have any lager.
Yeah.
So people would reach out to us to get lager on tap. So we got a lot of handles off of
Yuengling
that.
running out of lagers.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Never thought you'd see the day.
Never thought I'd see that one.
We also saw that with cerveza. So during COVID, we have a cerveza that has lime and sea salt. We use sea salt from the bay behind us, Barnegat Bay.
Wow.
And the Mexican breweries were shut down by the country. They couldn't produce.
Yeah.
So we had our customers coming to us, and we would just produce our cerveza, and then people would just put it on draft because they couldn't get Corona or Dos Equis or anything.
Wow. How do you guys, I've never even thought about this now you said that. How do you get the sea salt? Like, how do you extract that out of the bay?
Basically, you could do it a couple different ways. The easiest way is get a pickup truck and put a tarp in there. It's illegal to harvest salt water from the sea, so you can't go on the ocean side. It actually has to be harvested on the bay side.
Okay.
Fill it up like Homer or Lowe's buckets, and then fill it up into the truck and then bring it into a spot and just let it dehydrate in the sun.
How long does that take?
About a week or so.
Wow.
Yeah. Depending on weather.
You have just like a garden of buckets.
What I'm interested in,
evaporating.
how did you even find out? How did you even realize that you weren't allowed to harvest seawater? It had to
Somebody
be
was
bay
supplying
water.
us a salt, and they did it, so they told me.
Okay.
Yeah. So we try to use all different elements from local spots, whether it's the bay behind us or restaurants or coffee roasters, farms, whatever it is. So
the bay, does it have to be some sort of treatment to it before it, or you just let it go and the salt it'll
hopefully it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's living on salt.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. That is very true. It's almost like a.
And
I was
love
going
our
to say maybe
cerveza.
like a desalinization, but then pull the the salt off. But no,
Nope.
it's just easier to let it evaporate.
Dehydrate, just natural
There you go.
process.
That's freaking awesome.
Actually, I had seen a whole thing.
Yeah.
In Hawaii, Kona sea salt.
Oh.
They just have boxes and boxes filled, like same thing, tarps, filled with the water from the ocean.
Yeah.
And they just let it dehydrate.
Huh.
And they refine it a little bit so you can use it in the shaker.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, same idea.
Now, how much of what are the proportions salt, lime in the cerveza?
It's just a little bit of each element. Depends
so
on the size.
I mean, I guess
tank,
a little bit of salt goes a long way.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't. We try to use subtle flavors in our beer so it doesn't overwhelm the beer. Like we have our Hop and Hazy, which is our New England IPA. We have blood orange flavor on there now. So with the fruit, we try to condition on a little bit of fruit that doesn't overwhelm the beer.
Sure.
The sour, the off-season sour
Very
you're
good,
drinking
by the
now,
way.
that's very
Good balance,
fruity.
well
That's a very expensive beer for us to brew and condition. But that's blackberries, raspberries, a little bit of vanilla bean, and milk sugar in there just to smooth it out.
Do you guys see President Trump's here?
Oh, there you go.
He doesn't have a "Make America Great Again" hat, so I don't know why the USA is.
That is great.
Oh my God! I have to put him on. I'm gonna have to put him on. All right. Does he sound like him too? Can you wait?
He just did.
All right, boy. All right.
Now-
I'll put this up here so when he says something again, we can hear it.
Where did the mascot come of the VW bus?
It was actually one of my fraternity brothers had it for his business. He was going to start a water ice business, and then he wasn't using it, and I knew he had it, and I reached out to him. We lived by each other, and he was like, "What are you going to do with it?" And I said, "I'm going to mount taps on the side of it and pour beer from it." He's like, "Well, that's way cooler than what I was doing." So I bought it from him, and it's a little sketchy driving down here because I drove from Pennsylvania. So
With no power steering.
no power steering. You saw that when I was
Yeah.
pulling in.
Yeah.
And then yesterday down the ACX, nobody said it was going to rain, and all of a sudden it started pouring.
Oh,
and
boy.
One of the wipers is bad, so I really couldn't see. I thought I was going to die.
The seals on the window look pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you have some things here and there, but yeah. All right. Listen, it's in really good
I
shape
love
for what
that.
you put through.
Yeah, when I drive around that, I'll see mothers like pushing strollers, just smile when they say, "Man." It gives me a warm feeling in my heart when I see that.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, it does make me
definitely,
happy.
when I saw it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is very cool. We got this right next to us.
Yeah. It's definitely a conversation piece, and we kind of implemented it into our branding.
Well, it immediately pulls people. If they don't know who you are, they're coming over to check out the bus, and then they're going to have the beer.
Yeah, and then last year we had it sit, it was in front of the AC Beer Garden all summer, so it sat on the boardwalk.
That's cool.
They poured 8 of our brands out of it.
We passed that last year. We went to the boardwalk after one of the sessions, and we saw it. I don't think it was open, though, at that time. It was like just...
AC board, I don't know, they might have been
closed for COVID still, because it was still kind of iffy.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a great location, and just to have anything in there. What are some of the other cores? You have the.
okay. So then we go to off-season sour, which I talked about.
Yeah.
That's one of our core brands. We also have Hop and Hazy, which is 6%. That's with Citra and Mosaic, so some more sexy hops.
Yeah.
Mermaid Blonde. That's actually my daughter is special needs, and she has a rare disease, so we use some of the money from that and donate to her foundation. And then I'm trying to think, Swelterado, which is our double dry hop, double hazy IPA, and that's 8.5%.
Are you guys pouring a lot of those today?
Yeah, sure.
All of those, pretty much.
Not the Swelterado, but we're pouring Pleasure Island, which is a 11.4% rye IPA with Falconer's Flight.
Oh shit, we love our rye.
Okay. All right, so I know where I'm going right after we get off here.
I didn't know that. We should have taken a look at the menu prior to. I mean, I like the sour.
The sour was very bad pick on my part. But we're also pouring Do Not Pass Goza. So that was a collaboration 2 years ago with the AC Beer Fest. We did a beer for them. That's based off of the Monopoly game. So Do Not Pass Go, Do Not Pass Goza. That's with mango, passion fruit, and guava. And that's, I think, 4.8%. That's really light.
So good.
We also have a mimosa cider, which is with tangerine juice and sweet orange peel. That's on tap. Blood orange, hop and hazy, which I talked about.
Love that, yeah.
The Little Shack I talked about, which is the low-calorie one. And I don't know if I'm missing any other ones.
Now, at the brewery, do you guys have room for expansion? I know you said you're
we're maxed out. We're on the second floor.
Okay.
If I would have started over and did it differently, I would have did it totally differently. That's why we contract. We probably do 80% of or 85% of our production through other people.
Who are you contracting?
Really?
Just a number of people. Who's
we go through Sly Fox and Pottstown, and then Woodridge Farms for our ciders. So we work with them. They have really good quality control. We make sure everything's right, but they do a good job for us.
Yeah, for sure. That's
those-
necessary to get the distribution
Those
out.
guys, they contract for so many different breweries.
Yep.
So the one time I was there picking up kegs from them from G-Marker.
Oh, yeah.
With their parent company.
Yep. For the Bros on Tap, we do a podcast about craft beer. I've seen this 10 of them.
Yeah.
I got to give these guys some stuff.
Yeah.
We just started up, so if you check us out, I'd really appreciate it.
Will do.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Send us a message
yeah,
on
pretty cool.
Instagram, Spotify, Facebook.
Same, yeah. I'll look at it. He's got those. There you go. See, networking all the time.
There's Steph.
Oh, Steph's here. Hi, Steph.
And yeah, we were there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and like, hey, you wanna go in the brewery? and they were busy canning for, at the time it was Mikkeller.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so we were taking cans off the line, low fills, drinking 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Something special. So with that contracting, with you going back and forth between that, how's that business side doing? What you guys are doing over there in Pennsylvania?
We're doing well. We're picking up more. We kind of pulled back before COVID.
Good idea.
And then, now we're starting to start back up in that area, so we're getting a little more traction. We're looking at distribution in the central part of the state.
Okay.
We're also looking at expanding our distribution in New York and Connecticut. We're just
Very
trying
nice,
to find the right partners.
Sure.
80% of the people that come to Long Beach Island are from those areas.
Yes, we
and
are.
they're always asking us
Yep.
for our beer, and we can't get it to them, so we're looking at servicing and maybe, contracting with somebody else for that area.
Oh, that's awesome.
What other big plans do you have coming up, in the future? Do you have any more? I'll say this: in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, can you open a second and third location under the same licensing?
Yeah, in Jersey, you can open another location. We're exploring to open a big production brewery, so we're looking at 30-barrel system with 60s and 120s.
So that's what I'm saying. To almost not pull back, but not have as many contractors on it.
Yeah,
have
bring
some
everything
of
in
the
sight to make the margin for ourselves instead of spending so much in contracting. In Pennsylvania, with the license from the blendery, I could open 2 satellite locations at this time.
Oh, that's awesome.
We do it at a beer garden. We have a beer garden at an orchard, which is great in the fall. It's called Linville Orchards. That's immediate. That's actually open every weekend right now, and it runs, weather dependent. Will run through December. But that's crazy.
It's a meadery?
No. It's a orchard.
Orchard. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So this weekend they're having a strawberry festival. So what we basically did is took our Mermaid, a blonde ale, and then we add strawberries to it. So we have a strawberry blonde. So then we did a draft release and can release there this weekend.
Smart.
So that does really well. And
That's
then
awesome.
we do a cider donut cider with them using their product, and that works out well for us. But it's an old barn that burned down from the 1800s. So there's only a stone facade left over, so we pour out of the middle of this octagonal barn. It looks like Stonehenge. It's really cool.
That's very
and
cool.
what's perfect is when people bring their kids there, they bring them there for pumpkin picking, apple picking, strawberry picking,
And they need a drink.
yeah.
Yes,
and
we
then they're able to just sit down and have a beer or two and relax. So it's really cool.
Enough space for the kids to roam and a lot
Exactly.
of cool things to explore. So that's awesome.
That's I love hearing stuff like this where a brewery's doing different things with other companies. It or festivals. It draws attention to that part and also the brewery.
Yeah.
The more you get yourself out there, the more people know about it, the more people want your beer, especially if it's a good product. And so far, I've only had one, but
No, well,
I'm happy.
I've had your beer from previous fest, but we never had you on. Always solid. I mean, what we have up and down the list, I want to try some more and more for us. But this is delicious.
Thank you.
Yep. Give me the process on this. What did you guys go through? I know you said it's one of your most expensive ones.
Yeah, it's just the fruit that's the most expensive. So that's where we actually sour we sour that in the back end. So it's a yeast that we use that basically brings the pH down. Once the pH is brought down, then it starts fermenting from that point. It sours the beer for us, and then we condition on a ton of pureed blackberries, raspberries,
Oregon fruit.
Yep, exactly.
And then Oregon fruit.
Those damn Oregon and their shipping fees.
Oh yeah.
What do you have coming up? What's in the tanks right now back at the brewery?
Right now we're looking at our seasonals. So we do a freshly baked series, kind of going off the beach where you get freshly baked, especially in New Jersey now where it's legalized
everywhere.
So
New York is getting it now too, so
Yeah.
we're going to start seeing that whole kind of movement happen around.
Exactly. And
We
it's
have
not bad.
Blue Point. We're good friends with the guys over at Blue Point, and they have legalized wheat on tap.
Oh, nice.
So
I'll
it's
have to
kind of
try
like they had a hemp fest or what they call it is
It's a collaboration they did with a soon-to-be open dispensary in New York. And so today, if you buy merch, you get free weed.
Oh, okay.
And then you get to hang out over at Blue Point and just chill.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
And we do a cask fest with them. We did it 2 years ago, and then they didn't do it during COVID. But they're doing it. We'll do it again this year.
We broadcast there.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it last year.
again.
We'll see you there.
And I actually got surprised with the special beer this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, Steve used to own a brewery on Long Island.
Okay.
Closed it right before COVID hit. Thank God.
Yeah, smart man.
And someone held on to some old beer.
Okay.
And then some beer that were in kegs.
Yeah. And then they conditioned it and threw it in a cask and did it all under his nose.
Oh, cool.
I had no idea. Clue. We show up to broadcast and I'm like, guess what? You're pouring today.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
And what was the final product? What was it?
That was the Russian Imperial. That was aged on cocoa nibs.
Okay.
And we also and Madagascar vanilla bean.
Yep.
Okay. And then we closed, and this was all in barrels.
Oh, wow.
And another brewery had bought it up from us, and they had plans of doing something, and a bunch of people got together and said, yeah, we're going to do something with this, and just made a cask with it and added some other things, to kind of be like a collaboration of...
Yeah.
And, people were very happy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Very happy.
They miss him on the island.
Okay.
Distribution. How far is your reach right now? I know you might have said some of the other things.
Yeah, we go up to northern Jersey. Northwest is a little tough for us, but all the way through the south and through the rest of the state.
Yeah, and you can distribute through Pennsylvania then as well, right?
Yeah, we have a manufacturer license in Pennsylvania, one in Jersey, and then we have a distributor's license or wholesale license in New Jersey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very much good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have an awesome
tent
tent and awesome people here, and everyone's been hanging and been great neighbors, and
all right.
We'll be hanging out all weekend.
For some more beers.
Fucking A. Get that 11% right now.
That rye IPA, man.
Right on there.
I'll fill you up as soon as we're done.
Ship Bottom. Check them out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you can get your social media. And it's the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, live here at AC Beer Fest 2022, Baderfield in the heart of Atlantic City. We'll be right back right after this.
Govs Radio. You're listening to Govs Radio, streaming live 24/7. Visit govsradio.com for our show schedule and upcoming studio events.
This is The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, govsradio.com. We are sitting here with Mark from Zigmeister Brewing in New Jersey, obviously.
Hackettstown.
Yeah, what is it?
Hackettstown.
That's right, of course.
Of course.
Way northwest.
So, in the northwest Jersey section of the Jersey. We are having a great time here, obviously. We grabbed some beers from you.
Yeah.
And this is, Steve is just enamored with the dark beers. Something that people don't usually have at an outdoor summer beer fest.
Yeah.
But we were talking before, and you said, like, this is what people want.
Yeah, 100%.
People want, not as much as the sours are great.
So I've always been
the
under
Kolsch is great.
The belief that everyone says there's seasonal beers and things that you drink. I can't drink a stout unless it's freezing cold out.
Bullshit.
But, exactly. I like what I like it when I like it. And let's face it, most places have climate control, so the temperature's usually pretty standard, except when we're outside, obviously.
You guys, we were talking before again. You've been here for quite some time. You've been doing AC Beer Fest consistently over a few years.
Yep.
How has this festival changed for you over the years?
So definitely we learned a few things first year, to bring as many people as possible. So not only could we have people wandering around, but not run ourselves ragged. Trying to chat with people, because the worst thing you do is, we come down to these kinds of events and we want to, market the brand and talk to people.
Yep.
And it gets so busy that you're just literally just turning people over, and someone's trying to chat and I'm trying to fill a glass. So after that, we decided to bring like at least 6 people. We thought was good, which kind of hurts the wallet when we're trying to get everybody down here and try to everything. And then besides the fact that we have a brewery to run as well.
What? Wait, get
out of here! You don't just shut it down for this. Get out of here!
So then, obviously we pull some people from our tap room because they obviously can speak to the beer and know everything about it, but as well as chat and stuff like that. So and then having me and we actually have Brandon down here, one of our other sales guys, to be able to talk to people, because there's vendors that come down and they're interested in the brand. They may not have heard of us because we're from pretty far away, and it's good to be able to get the information out. Schmooze a little,
like us.
Yeah,
there you go. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell us a little about the history of the brewery.
So Zigmeister Brewing is we will be 6 years old this month. Actually, the anniversary party that we throw every year is falling on our actual anniversary, which is June 11th.
Hey, there you go.
So we threw a
happy
big
anniversary to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
6
real
years
close.
strong. Yeah.
And for New Jersey, because we've been talking over the last few years of how this scene in New Jersey has been up and coming, but there's a lot of great roots already sown, and you guys are probably leading the pack and probably the elders of the state.
I mean, you still got the old guard, the guys that have been around here forever. Like Flying Fish, River Horse, all these guys that are still consistently putting out product and they're in the market. But there's so many good New Jersey beer. The breweries that are out right now, it's insane.
Yeah.
And the quality of beer has changed, I'd say, tenfold over the past 5 years, more so than the 10 years before that.
Yeah.
And it's just, from my angle, as trying to get our beer out in a distro and stuff like that. Not that it was ever easy with competition and stuff like that, but right now it's like everybody's making such good beer in Jersey that it's hard. You can't just be like, hey, I make good beer. It's like the good beer doesn't get you sold anymore. It's got to be about the story. It's got to be a quality, consistency, and I think Jersey is starting to do that on a very high level.
Yeah, and we noticed just an uptick from even a few years ago, prior pandemic. The number of breweries at a festival like this.
Oh yeah.
Number of new open breweries
Absolutely.
At a festival like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry forever. Before this, I was a bar manager at a small craft bar up in Sussex County called Salt. Before that, I was the craft manager at a ShopRite where I did retail heavily for about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And just seeing the changes from then
on the retail level
and the
too.
retail level, it's insane. There's just so much good stuff out there.
It's got to be hard for a restaurant manager nowadays to pick a tap list because of the amount of breweries.
It's
like,
insanity.
What do I pick?
So when I was managing, it was still basically there wasn't 40 different breweries like running around trying to sell their beer to bars.
Right.
You had Kane, you had Carton, you had all the old dog guys like River Horse and Flying Fish, like I said before, and all those guys. But as for smaller startups, you didn't really get much. I remember Eric from Magnify when he first started.
Magnify,
And I think at Salt there, I was like his 5th account or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember trying Liquid then and being like, oh, this is very good compared to specifically what I was getting from my distributor books.
Yeah.
So the same old kind of tried and true breweries, but not exciting. It's the same stuff every year, kind of thing. And it's not to bash any of the big national brands, but we were much more a locally sourced kind of place, and it was so much cooler to get, this brewery is 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
This brewery is an hour away. This place is in Jersey, and it's another small business.
One of the things that the smaller breweries have done is promote innovation.
Mm-hmm.
And, like some of the big guys that you have in the state, like you were mentioning before, those guys saw what the smaller breweries were doing and saw the innovation that was possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that, again, I say this a lot, but like the tide raises all ships, they've got to see that, places like you guys have been, doing some different things.
Yeah.
It's got to then say, hey, listen, it's time for us to do something different. Have you guys seen that transition over the last few years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody's pulling out, whatever. We went from a society which is straight stouts to the craziest pastry stouts you've ever heard of, and people putting whatever you can find in the grocery aisle or cereal aisle into a sour or
like
stuff
Snickers.
like that.
Wait, shut up! I know.
But I mean, it makes everybody else a little like, hey, is this crazy to do? And then 5 years later, it's like, no, that's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, that would be insane. Can you even do that? Yeah, now we do it all the time.
Yeah,
it's
now
a
it's
staple.
like commonplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think about all the different crazy stuff that not only, I mean, this isn't even obviously not exclusive to Jersey thing, but we've seen a lot of distributors come from out of state with stuff that you couldn't touch,
right?
Stuff that you had to drive for, and now it's available at your local store. It's
supermarket.
And I mean, I say to everybody, as a sales guy, but also a beer drinker, it's the best time to be alive, but also the worst time to be a salesman. It's the competition's fierce out there, and as much as we can all eat together, there's enough out there as far as the local guys, and it's it's us against big beer. But it's people have limited amount of shelf space, limited amount of refrigerator space.
That is true.
We're all competing for it. So at the end of the day, it is kind of competition, but it's all good between all the Jersey breweries. We all love each other, and it's it's a good family.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, you guys in this state have really risen to the occasion with the trends and everything going across the states. New York took a little leapfrog over some of the stuff down south, but now a lot of these states in between, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, they're all starting to really push that envelope.
Jersey was always in a strange place because this is going back 10, 15 years when I was doing retail.
Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't so much about local craft because there just wasn't a lot around. It was getting, like one case of KBS, and that used to be exclusive.
Well, you know what? It was crazy too because the beer laws in Jersey were antiquated for the longest fucking time.
No, they still are. Nothing much has changed. We're working on that, but at the end of the day, it's just, for some reason, whatever these laws were set up for, they protect certain interests and they kind of hurt others.
Yes.
And there's no real easy, there's no way to just be like, oh, just do this and it's good. So, that's what we're trying to, everybody.
And I'll say for you, the interests are definitely taken care of the restaurants and bars and the brewery stuff.
Yeah. Even not to throw shade at other industries too, but there's a lot of things that, distilleries and wineries can do that breweries
can't do.
And it's kind of like, come on, like let's even the playing field but in my mind, Jersey was like, oh, well, even the playing field, so let's just take those away from the wineries instead of letting the breweries have them.
Yes.
They're just going to cut it down. And regulate
they don't need it. If the breweries can't do it, then the wineries can't do it. It's the other way around. What are we thinking about here?
It's wild, but
now, what are you guys pouring today?
Right now, we are pouring. We actually have 5 beers on today, so we're pouring 4 at our tent.
Yes.
The first one we're doing is the nice light drinking, easy drinking Kolsch called the Huntsman Kolsch.
That's what I had. It's delicious.
Super.
Delicious.
This kind of weather, I wouldn't want to be drinking anything else. But if you need something heavier,
bourbon barrel,
like all the
I'll go from the two extremes. The Huntsman. Then we have what's called Brontes. It's a barrel aged. We have this base imperial that we do every year called Bond of Flesh and Iron. And then we do 3 different barrel-aged versions of it. So one is bourbon barrel, one is a rum barrel, and one's a red wine barrel. So this is Brontes. It is a bourbon barrel, and then we condition it on a little bit of coconut. So a little bit extra flavor.
You get that? You get the coconut?
It was delicious.
Yeah. We originally were going to bring down its kind of brother. Because there's a series called Brontes, RGs, and Steropes. They represent 3 Cyclopean blacksmiths.
Wow.
That so whenever we make a stout, it always has something to do with blacksmithy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, this is cool. We have these 3 stouts, these 3 big stouts. Let's name them after these mythical characters because all of our big imperials were all mythical stuff.
Yeah.
We do a ton of different imperials, and they're all named after mythic series. So these are like 3 Cyclopean brothers that did stuff and
it's a good concept.
It's great. We had great artwork done of the Cyclops. Back when big bottles were a format. Now we smashed them onto 4 12-ounce cans or 4-pack 12-ounce cans because no one can buy. No one cares about large format anymore. Once in a while, there's a couple of guys that are still successfully doing it, but. As for most people, it's just a dead format. It hurts. It's hard to sell it at that,
I like the 8-ounce cans. I like the shorties.
Yeah, no, they're
pack
cool.
And just make it like 12% or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and then the other 2, just to get those out of the way. The New England style IPA. It's our new year-round called the Angler. It's a Mosaic Citra New England style IPA that has made it into our stable
that
for our year-round.
My next one.
Super tasty. Again, on this day like today, it's delicious. And then we have something from our Sundial series, which is a rotating monthly sour, fruited sour series.
I saw that. Yeah.
Called Sunset Sherbet, and it's passion fruit, lime, raspberry, and orange. So super.
You got the Spectrum, that's for sure.
Yeah, we actually do have we have a fruited sour called Spectrum as well.
Yeah.
So it's basically the other sherbet.
You also have another tap line over on Brewery Strong.
For Brewery Strong, we're pouring something from our Abyss series, which is our rotating Imperial New England style series. It's called Drag to the Depths, and it's actually also Mosaic Citra.
Yeah.
So you could say that it's kind of the Angler's bigger brother.
And is that a double or triple?
It's a double. Essentially, yeah.
That's awesome.
Our Abyss series usually runs anywhere from like 8.3 to 8.8 in that realm.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good mark to hit for those, for sure.
Without a doubt.
What do you guys? What's going on with the brewery itself? What's coming up for the future? What's
so the big one that we're focusing on right now is our anniversary. Like I said, we've been around 6 years. It's happening on our exact 6th anniversary again. This will be June 1 or June 11th. June 1. June 11th.
The June 1.
The 1. It's the right
that one.
It's after the 0th.
June 0?
So we throw a huge party. We have a bunch of vendors that come out. We get live bands. We actually do a really cool thing that I love. Every employee brews their own small batch beer.
Really?
And we put a ton of them on. So I think we have like, oh man, I know we have at least 20 different cool small batch things.
And you know the competition that's going to be involved in this.
The
this
level
isn't even it.
of
So
trash
this
talk.
one,
Oh my
this
God,
one
yes.
This one's okay, but we also do basically the same thing for March Madness to see who gets their beer put on for anniversary. So we all come up with beers, ideas, and then they go through a bracket system that people vote on through social media, and then whoever wins gets their beer from our
Rivals beer bracketology.
for the anniversary.
These guys are cutthroat. I see this
Yeah,
already. I love
that
it.
That one is brutal. There's a lot of manipulation on the social media voting, I think. I'm guilty as charged with it as well.
Do you have voting through the poll system, but then voting on the website as well?
It's just through like Instagram usually, and then maybe a lot of my family votes for me.
Maybe.
Well, that's
people
the
that
point.
I happen to know.
It is all about a popularity
People that have
contest,
never
for
been
sure.
on Instagram suddenly new accounts are voting for me. I, however, didn't win this year. I still think it was rigged. We'll need a recount done at some point in time.
Someone else is doing the same thing times 4. Whoever has the bigger family, what it ends up being.
For sure.
You guys, any big plans for expansion? Anything that you're going to do for a bigger project down the road?
Oh God,
What
so
do we
many plans.
what do we have for a brew house though?
So right
we didn't even talk
now,
about
we have a
that.
15-barrel brew house. We basically, at this point, we started off with 3 30-barrel unit tanks and 3 30-barrel brights.
Yeah.
At this point, we're up to, I believe it's 8 30-barrel unit tanks, 3 20-barrel fermenters, a couple, I think 3 small 7-barrel brights that we do some conditioning and stuff.
Right.
A large 60-barrel bright for finishing, and another 2 30-barrel brights, I believe. Wow. It's a lot of metal. But we've pretty much hit our capacity at our current building. We do have plans for expansion in the future, and there's no set in stone stuff, but we do own a large parking lot behind us that may or may not begin to start housing some fun things for us.
Are you doing any contracting just to get?
We are. So we do not any like Gypsy Brewers or anything like that, but we partner up with a lot of our local restaurants to do one-offs and stuff like that, which is awesome for us.
Great idea.
Me coming from, I'm a big restaurant guy, and I love supporting local, and it was something that I always wanted to do when I was running the bar program. I was like, it would be so cool to get our own beer in here and be involved in the process of making it, and really say, hey, this is
this is our beer.
This is for us.
House beer.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've done a couple of those. We're always looking for different stuff like that, different restaurant groups if they want to put something together.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're big on just trying to support everything local. Not just the beer industry. It's everything's hand in hand. Not even food. It's everything. Even small town Hackettstown. Like everything. When we have a big festival, we hope everybody has a great business day. Everybody's walking down Main Street and checking out shops and stuff like that. And
and that brings up the question. How's the local outpour? Is it like a very?
Oh, we have a great relationship.
Yeah.
So Hackettstown is not completely unique anymore, but pretty rare in New Jersey in the fact that we have pretty much 3 breweries right in town. I believe the only other town that I know of is Hamilton. I believe they have. Might even be 4 now. I know they have 3.
Okay.
So it's us. Right off of Main Street, there's a brewery called Manskirt.
Okay.
They opened right around the same time as us. And then Jersey Girl is
Jersey Girl,
a couple miles down the road. So we're all right there. And then, right up the road in Washington, you have Buttsville. You have Chilton Mill right over in Long Valley-ish.
But not far.
But not far. And then Long Valley Brew Pub, who we do work with some contract stuff and just general, trading business back and forth. So it makes it a great hub for people to come up, fly around the area, grab some beers.
Well,
try
that's
a bunch
it.
of different
It's all
breweries.
about, you might as well have a few more because then it becomes a destination spot, right? It becomes
100%.
a place where people can come and spend the day hopping around, going to the places where they need to go.
And there's so many great places to eat right in Hackettstown. Anything you want, literally. It's all great. It's a great community.
I live in a community on Long Island that has 3 breweries, a meadery, and plenty of restaurants and other places to kind of go. So
awesome.
it brings a shit ton of people to the town.
And, it's one of those things that we see a lot of these breweries that are in destination towns, and I was like, oh my god, I would love that. That would be so cool for us. But if you can carve out a niche in Hackettstown where literally no one drives through to get anywhere, basically unless you work at M&M Mars, so that's our big claim to fame.
There you go.
North American headquarters from M&M Mars.
There you go.
So it either smells like chocolate, peanut butter, or like peanut M&Ms, or brewing. the town.
I'll take it both.
It's never bad.
That was both
never
for
bad.
him.
Or if you went to Centenary College, it's also.
All right.
So they're right up the road as well. But and we still haven't gotten our partnership with M&M Mars for some reason. That's working on it. We'll see.
I see that, from what you guys are pouring and everything, you guys are keeping up with the trends. Do you see anything coming up in the industry that you want to match or meet in regards to beer styles and things like that? I mean, or are you just trying to kind of stay in your lane?
We kind of stay in our lane. I mean, as much as that, whatever that means nowadays, because there's everybody's. It's just like an old west highway out there. It's just people cutting each other off, and everybody's doing something different all the time, and we like to. I mean, we do a ton of traditional styles, but those are fun, and you got to also keep up with what the market wants, which is insanity.
Right.
Yes. People want the newest insane thing.
It's
today. What's the beer that Bolero did for AC with John? It's like the Boardwalk Cotton Candy.
Yes.
Fried
Oreo.
Orange creamsicle last year or something.
We went past them, and they had no more beer.
Oh, they're out?
Yep.
Oh man, I'll have to yell at Bob and Scott.
Their allotment for tomorrow is.
We're going to have to be there first thing if we want to get our hands on it.
Well, I know they had a keg over at Chickies and Pizza Shop, so if you want to try that out.
Well, that was part of the whole partnership they wanted to do for the city, right? Is get people to come here, spend the day in here, and then go out into the town. So they had a number of the breweries, make sure they had kegs in local restaurants and bars and stuff like that in order to get that, kind of push.
Oh, and I was trying to work on getting as much down here as possible, but unfortunately for us, we haven't really been around the area, and with all the competition and stuff, we're not the local brewery down here, so
right.
And I get that, but we carve out a nice living, so and get our beer around enough. So
that's it. I want to give you an opportunity. Where can people find the beer? Where can they find you if they want to follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff?
It's gonna just be at Zigmeister. Don't follow me. I'm not that fun.
How do people spell it?
Okay, so it's CZIGMEISTER.
Zigmeister. Pronounce Zig was spelled with a C to start, so don't screw that up when trying to search him out.
It's Matt Ziegler. He's the owner. So it comes from his last name. When he started brewing beers, he had a little garage kind of brewery for his buddies, and they'd be like, "Oh, what's the Zigmeister got on tap this week?" So the name kind of stuck through, and he took it through. So
it's awesome. Mark, thanks a lot for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Zigmeister on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com. Live here at the AC Beer Fest 2022 on Bader Field in the heart of Atlantic City. We'll be right back right after this.
Govs Radio. This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. GovsRadio.com live here at AC Beer Fest 2022 on Bader Field in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the heart of Atlantic City. Historic Bader Field, as we call it before.
Yes, we do.
Today, right here, and in this moment. Actually, Tom, do me a favor, reposition the camera. Tilt a little towards us a little more, pan a little towards us a little more. Actually, I want to center you guys up. We had it moved for somebody else. We are here with Josh and Crystal.
Josh and Crystal.
I stopped at the tick because, again, you're right. You're absolutely right. Christy screwed me up.
Yes.
Crystal! What's up, guys? From Axe and Arrow Brewery Company in the old
Glassboro, next to Rowan
I'm a big
University.
Duke basketball fan, so every time I'm thinking North Carolina, Greensboro, I'm like, Glassboro, New Jersey. How are you guys? Thanks a lot for taking a few moments for us.
Yes.
Doing good. Thanks for
Appreciate
having
you
us
being on.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with a little bit of history. Where did the brewery start? How did this all come about?
Really just a hobby that went crazy. Was home brewing in the basement for about 6 or 7 years, and always wanted to have a business, something, So
Were you doing something before?
I've been in construction from since I was like 15, so it's all I've ever done. So I just wanted to try something else.
Definitely helpful when building a brewery, for sure.
Yeah, it was. It did help out. But luckily, my wife supported me.
Yeah.
And now she runs the business completely.
Just took it over.
Yeah.
Just swiped
Well,
it out.
you
She has
started
an
talking
MBA,
crazy
so it
about
worked, yeah.
opening a business, and I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna have to run some numbers. Make sure this is smart.
Listen, if you're gonna get into this, we gotta have some talks.
That's it.
No, I'll tell you what. Having her with the background that she has is like awesome.
Yeah.
Being able to look at the numbers, make sure everything's all good, right?
You have economics, management, all of the above?
Yeah, an MBA, so
Yeah, there
just
you go.
business.
Oh, boy.
There you
Accounting.
go.
Married the right woman, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So when it started in the basement, when did you guys finally get like a brick and mortar and a tasting room and all that stuff?
We opened about 3 years ago, but obviously planning starts a lot before there. So about a year and a half, so probably 4.5 years ago is when we started looking and planning. And during that year and a half leading up to when we actually opened, I just really brewed a lot, tried to dial everything in. And
was it tough for the glass barrel? More weights? The box is over here, sir.
Oh, here it is.
We have to weight that down a little more.
I got it.
Was it not on it?
No, it actually slid off.
Oh, okay, so there you go. It should be all right, but take your time. Glassboro, did it accept you with open arms? The community was great, no problems?
Oh, they've been great. They helped us. Well, it was a new development, too, so they zoned it, Zoning was really easy.
Get right on it, man.
And actually, that was one of the questions that I haven't been asking. Yeah. I mean, I know for New York and Long Island, where we come from, how certain townships and that are either real easy or they suck undeniably.
Same in Jersey.
Oh, okay. All right.
We were lucky to get a township, a municipality that knew about breweries, accepted breweries, and made it easy on us.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
You got lucky there. Did it take a long time from moment of conception to actually getting open and ready to go?
I think we made it as quick as it could. I think it could have been a lot worse, but just having all your ducks in a row, they just want to know that you've got all your funding and everything ready. And
what kind of resources did you guys use? Not coming from a brewery background, I know you were homebrewing, but how did you know how to get that business going? Did you consult other people? Was it an easy thing to find out and get information?
For sure, the Jersey brewing community is super open, so we just befriended by going there and buying their beer, and then start talking to them like, oh, how about this, how about that, and then the business end of things, that's just what I do, so that was easy. It was just the brewing, the alcohol legal ease of it that I needed to figure out. But everybody around here is really great.
Yeah, shout out to 3 Threes, Aiton, Sands, Chris and Mike and all those guys. We probably bothered them just with the amount of questions and just I was always calling them, hey, what about this? But they were totally cool about it. And now the cool thing is we have breweries that want to open and they come and talk to me, and I just remember all these other guys that helped us out. So I just want to keep on.
Sure. And that's the community, right? It's just just promote the whole thing. Now, do you guys have other breweries in and around the area?
Yeah, so not on the actual strip that we're on, but probably 2 miles down the road. Yeah. There's a giant, beautiful brewery that makes amazing lagers. It's called Bonesaw. Aiton Sand is 10 minutes from us.
Aiton Sand?
Neck of the Woods is close.
Neck of the Woods, 13 Child. Yeah. There's probably 6 or 7 in 15 minutes of us.
Yeah, and that makes a great destination. People come in, they're like, all right, we want to do a brewery tour. We got plenty of breweries, map it out. It makes a lot of sense. Have you gotten a lot of out-of-state people, or is there a lot of still locals coming through?
We get a lot of people from PA, a lot of Philly people.
Really? Okay, cool.
We started distroing there in the beginning of the year. Yeah. And, actually some Philly people from AC Beer Fest last year came and sought us out,
And that's the beauty of this festival. Yep. People come from all over, try out your stuff. They're like, this is where we want to be.
Yep.
So from moment of inception, how long have you been open?
3 years.
Nice. Are you celebrating 3 years, 4 years soon, or what was the actual opening?
Just celebrated 3 years about a month ago.
Congratulations. And that's got to be the toughest time of your life through COVID. How'd you guys cope with all that?
Well, we kind of got lucky. Yeah, we kind of got lucky in a silver lining way. We purchased a canner. I believe it was November 2019, and
took possession 7 days before they shut New Jersey down.
Yeah, took possession about a week prior, and the whole time we're sitting there talking, we're just going to slow roll into this whole canning thing and
figure it out.
Slow roll my ass.
And it was do-do-do.
Yeah, and then I said, all right, you remember where? Nope, not that anymore. Can everything.
Yeah.
And luckily that helped.
Did drive through and
we did some delivery.
Did delivery? I was going to say you were able to do delivery.
Some curbside delivery.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But really just forced us into that distribution game.
Yeah.
That we didn't really plan to go that route, but we had like that was the only way.
And shout out to the Jersey beer community, like the consumers.
Yeah.
They fucking rock. Can I say fuck? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
They
shit.
You know what? You can
rock.
fucking say fucking rock.
For sure. Yeah, the support
Like came
was
out in
immense.
droves. Like Facebook
That's great.
sites popped up where people were like sharing what beer they were picking up that weekend and drinking at home. Like, killed it.
Well, you know what that shows? That shows that the community cares about you guys, and that you're actually doing. If you guys sucked, they wouldn't have done that for you. But you guys are obviously doing something well, and that's great that the community came in behind you guys,
Agreed.
which I hope they are still doing, because it's not over yet. We're still, we're all still kind of fighting our way through this.
A little bit here and there, but I mean, since New Jersey has opened, have you seen growth? Have you felt like, all right, we're finally moving forward here?
Yeah. I mean, even through COVID, like, we saw growth. Mainly because we were so young.
Which is very unique.
Yeah,
for
it
a
was
lot of
crazy.
breweries.
My margin wasn't there, my tap room's my margin. But it was still, it was growth. Seeing the new faces, the new people, and people talking about our beer. It's pretty cool.
All right, so being a husband and wife team,
Which is, I was going there. I was eventually going to get there.
I owned a brewery on Long Island, and we were a husband and wife team, and my wife did the books, did everything. We're closed now, and it's because my wife said, okay, enough. And we closed just as COVID hit, which was a godsend for us. But you're brewing the beer, and you need certain things. Does she cut you off? Does she say, those galaxy hops and that happened this month?
No, there's been a lot of times where, like, she'll break the recipes down and cost account them, and
There's a lot of background noise as well.
yeah, so like she'll cost account it and say, yeah, this is a good beer, it sells really well, but we're not making anything on it.
The margins aren't
there. So either we need to rework this beer, because at the end of the day, like, you do need to make money so you can stay open.
Yeah, that helps.
So that, or we need to maybe just do a tap room. Like, that's the only place that beer is going to go. It's just to the tap room where you have
The
that
margins,
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just something like that. Like, she'll say, okay, we actually need to raise prices because materials are going up 20%, 30%, and which we held the line as long as we could.
Sure.
And we just actually, like, a few months ago was the first time that, since COVID, that we raised pricing, and that was strictly because
your pricing went up.
Strictly because of a beer costs $1,000, now it's $1,300.
Sure.
Right now.
And the crazy part too is talking to all these other breweries. It's not even so much, yes, the material went up, but the shipping costs are through the roof. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we actually get together with some of the other breweries, and we're getting like a fruit order together.
Oregon fruit.
Yeah, like,
everybody does it, man.
Yeah, so
Every community of brewers. will hey, this pallet's going to cost us this much.
That's
Who
right.
wants to jump on it?
Yeah, we got 48 boxes that we can put on here. I'm only getting 20. Do you want some? This, that, and the other thing. So, but
it makes a lot of sense to kind of band together, because again, you guys are all trying to keep that state brewery community together and keep it active. There was a lot of breweries closing even during that time. You guys were opening. What was the biggest challenge through all of that?
Besides COVID.
Yeah, right.
That's what
Really,
I meant. Because of COVID.
Yeah, really, the biggest challenge for me was, like, you open up a brewery, you have all these expectations, this mindset, this is what I'm going to make, this is the beers that we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, and then your consumers are like, maybe not. So you got to be willing to shift, to pivot. Like, okay, maybe
Exactly.
maybe I like this beer, but my consumers, my customers don't.
Yep.
There's only a small subsection. So
It's got to be tough.
the
man.
biggest
Jesus.
challenge is to put your personal ego, your taste off to the side, and say, what do my customers want? And
We're really lucky because we have 20 taps, so we can have a little bit of the stuff we like, and a lot of it is stuff they like.
Yeah, perfect segue. What are you guys pouring today? What do you have on tap here at the Beer Fest?
So, in the beginning, the first year, very basic tap list. We started making sours, and it just took off. Like, I'm not a real big sour guy. She doesn't like sours, but apparently we make pretty good sours.
But they're really fun to make.
So today we have a Bahama Mama sour, which is a plethora of
Which
fruit.
sounded delicious, by the way. I had one beer. I chose the New England IPA because I'm an IPA guy, but That sounded really good.
It's delightful.
What goes into that?
Yes, everything.
There's 5 different fruits.
Yeah,
5
it's
different
like
fruits.
papaya, strawberry. There's a bunch.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a what we call the cherry fluff sour. So obviously that's cherry, and that's a sour base with lactose and vanilla.
Okay.
So it kind of has like that waffle coney taste going on.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
We have an Easy Peasy Blonde, which is like an Arnold Palmer beer. It's conditioned on black tea, peaches, and lemon puree. And then, what's the other one? Oh, we have the Nor'easter, which is a hazy IPA. And then we also brought
seltzers, right?
Yeah.
Our fizzy water, which I don't know if you guys know the word water.
Yeah.
You're from New York.
We got water.
It's water. Yeah, so
get that water.
So we have 2 fizzy waters here.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. The process of that, it takes up time, tank space, or is it just easier and you
for
can
seltzers?
get it? Yeah.
They're easy.
Super
yeah.
cheap,
they're
super easy.
The biggest thing with them is just getting your fermentation right. You know, a lot of people. It's easy to make. It's easy to make your sugar, water, but to get the yeast to like that sugar water and not give sulfur and all this other nasty stuff off. That's the hardest part. So dial that in.
Now, what do you guys have coming up? You're looking to expand, second location. You guys have a pretty good name. Axe and Arrow has been around for a while. What do you think the next step would be? Now that we're coming out.
Well, we do this every brewery.
Yeah.
What system do you guys?
Oh,
what do you have?
What jump ahead? You pass
do.
that.
You do.
And
that's a good one because our system's very different.
We got a 7-barrel brew system, which is essentially a giant brew in the bag system. We have
we should have contract brewed it there instead of fucking.
Well, who else?
Lobsters.
We have somebody on the island that is
Six Harbors.
kind of very similar to
Six
that.
Harbors.
Yeah, you ever hear like the Colorado Boy system, where it's like a mash colander that you just pick up out?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that a little bit. But we actually got 2 15-barrel tanks 3 months ago, so we've been double batching into them.
Oh yeah, double batch and throw it in there.
So really.
Those are long days, though, aren't they?
I'm sure you remember because you had a business with your wife. We talk about the brewery and brewing all day, every day.
It's a never-ending. Even when you're out with friends, they bring it up, and then the conversation always steers that way.
Always
and
the beer.
And you just want to. No, I just would like to relax for a moment.
Can we talk about like how it's beautiful out?
How are your kids doing?
No, but the weird thing is after 4.5 years of this, like I still enjoy talking to her about it and planning constantly and
how to make it better, how to make it more fun.
That's great.
That's the other challenge. Like when you go back to your previous question, challenge is like constantly like you don't want to get stuck in that rut. You always want to have something new because that's how the craft beer customers are nowadays. They don't want that one beer all the time anymore.
It's what have you done for me lately?
Yep. It's good to a point that you have a 7-barrel mesh, and that way you can turn and burn if you want to produce a half batch.
Yeah.
Get that in, get that out, and then turn it over for the next one for another 15.
Exactly.
And especially for your tasting room, because. And it's amazing. If you have the same lineup for so many weeks, you see your crowd dwindle.
Yeah.
As soon as you put 2 new beers on, they're all back.
We try to do 2. We try to at least do 1 to 2 new beers every week.
Wow, that's good.
So we have a little pilot too. So we have a 2.5-barrel pilot system. So we just, even if it's just 1 keg.
Throw
put it
one
on.
off in the tank,
Yeah.
Did you do casks? Have you done casks before?
We haven't done casks.
Yeah.
Nah, we just do the new kegs, like the little, like even if we're making like, sour, we're making like a 15-barrel sour, we might just pull 1 keg off of that and just blend it just to make something else new.
And the good thing too is when you do those, tasting room exclusives, those people are like, I can only get here. And then are you guys doing crowlers or anything like that?
We do the crowlers and we have 4-packs.
And they will come down and be like, it's only on tap. Can I get that in the crowler? Because they want to be the person that has it.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, the funny thing was
or post a picture about it.
My one friend is here today, Joe. We went to Great American Beer Fest in 2019, and he got on this peanut butter beer kick. And he was like, Josh, make a peanut butter and jelly sour. I'm like, that sounds gross, dude. I'm not making that. And he just kept
we tried it.
Yeah, so he just kept beating me down. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. I made it on the barrel pilot system. One person came in, bought a crowler of it, posted it online, said how it was awesome. The next day, it was gone.
Wow.
And I was like,
see, it's amazing.
Like, what in the world is that?
You never know.
Yeah, and again, it's
know.
that rare thing that one person is like, oh my God.
Yeah, it just takes one social media post.
It's so crazy. That's great, though. That's great to hear.
Josh, Crystal, I want you to give you an opportunity to talk about the brewery. Where can people find it? Where you're located? Tasting room hours, social media contacts, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're right on Glassboro's Town Square in the Rowan, right not far from Rowan University, and we distro all in Gloucester, Camden, Cumberland, Salem, Burlington counties. And into Philadelphia.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Tasting rooms open Wednesday through Sunday, mainly at night during the week, obviously. 12 to 10-ish on Saturday. But yeah, we're on Instagram and Facebook. We post our new beer releases the beginning of every week, let you know what's going on. We do trivia someday. Some weeks, every other week we do trivia. We try to do like arts and crafts and paint nights and stuff like that.
Of course.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And I'm glad New Jersey has stopped like the limit on event nonsense.
No.
They haven't.
Really? They haven't?
We're working on that. I'm on the board of the NJBA.
That was
we're working on
years ago that I actually put into the online petition to knock that shit off because
Yeah.
that's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
you turn
actually-
a TV on, it's an event. That's stupid. Stop
Yeah.
it. But even so, just to have a limit on that, what are you doing? Are you trying to get rid of breweries in your state and not have people come out? 'Cause that's what it's all
That are
about.
generating a shit ton of revenue
Yeah.
for them.
Well, I
Just
really think it was the restaurants were wary at
without a
first.
doubt.
Agreed.
But now they actually like us. They buy all of our beers and
Right.
stuff. So it's like,
Because people coming in there for
Yeah.
that.
It's synergistic.
Yes.
yeah, they're like, oh, actually, people want this. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, if I have a good tap list, people will come in here.
Yeah, oh, how about that?
I already have good food, so pair it with good
What
beer.
have I been doing? Why am I so stupid? Well,
Right?
there you go, New Jersey Restaurant Business Group or whatever it's called. Knock that shit off and sit on the side of breweries here in New Jersey.
Oh, they absolutely do now.
Yeah, all
It
right.
was rough in the beginning.
Yeah. Well,
Before
hopefully the
us.
state can get their head out of their ass and make this happen.
Well, that's
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Josh Crystal, really appreciate you being on. Axe and Arrow Brewing in Glassboro, New Jersey. Really appreciate you being on. Thanks for taking the time for us.
Hey,
Yes.
thank
for
you
having
guys.
us, man.
This is the Word with Mike P and Steve, GubsRadio.com. We are right here in Atlantic City for AC Beer Fest 2022, and we'll be right back after this.
Govs Radio. You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, moron, it's pronounced the Wort.
What the hell is a wort?
It's pronounced the Wort.
What is it? The wort? Yeah, okay, I'll do that again. This is The Wort on Govs Radio.
It is the Wort. Not wart, not fort, not short. The Wort.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what that means. When do you guys start drinking?
Who says we haven't been drinking?
Where's mine? If I say it correctly this time, can I have a drink?
We'll think about it.
You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
This is The Word with Mike, Pete, and Steve.
Hello.
And Tom. GubsRadio.com live here at AC Beer Fest 2022 right here on Baderfield in the heart of Atlantic City, New Jersey. We are wrapping up day one here. Man, what a fucking turnout.
Son of a bitch, bro.
And so many, so we got people lined up for tomorrow's episode.
Yes.
And it's so busy here that to get our guests on for just a few moments is definitely not easy as we thought it was going to be.
No.
Because they, redesigned and switched everything up. A lot of the breweries have a number of people behind the tents, but still, they're just so busy banging
It's not
out
like
beer.
last year where you can do it during the intermission.
Right, there was
You
no
know.
intermission, so yeah, I mean, listen, this is still a shit ton of fun. We got a lot of great content here in day one.
A lot of great beer, bro.
Dude,
A lot of great
have
beer.
you had a bad beer yet?
I have not.
And
I
not
could
that I drank
honestly-
my day away because
Nope.
we didn't have time to do that.
I can
but
honestly
we've
say
had some great breweries and some great beer so far.
every beer I've had so far, I would have again.
There you go.
Every single one.
So
Some more so.
the beer that we just
Double IPA.
parlayed.
Double IPA.
No, black IPA.
Oh, black. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're drinking it. You're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
double IPA.
Black IPA.
And we're going to have that on tomorrow, a little tease for the second part of this
And what's
AC Beer
even
Fest.
better is that we'll be winning that souped up SUV Bronco from
Sam Adams
from
and
Sam
Dogfish.
Adams and Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
I will be winning that, which is going to be so
I
cool.
hope for your sake.
And we're going to drive that around and do beer festivals with it. So
Yeah, Matt, we'll put a tap off
we're gonna put taps on it.
Yeah, I like
we're
it.
gonna file beer maker 1 gallon in.
Highlight of the day today. Go.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Beer wise or
Anything.
anything.
Yeah.
highlight for me, not beer-wise, was watching the girl on that fucking unicycle.
Dude, she's been amazing.
That motorized unicycle flying in between people.
If she
with,
comes
like,
around,
fake swords.
Get up and whip the camera around.
Yes.
So we can capture her.
That was like that and the Ship Bottom Brewery freaking VW van.
Yeah, right here.
That is right behind us.
Yeah.
That is the coolest looking thing I wish I had. But beer-wise,
yeah,
I'm gonna say from Zigmeister, that barrel-aged stout was
11.2.
It
was.
Yes, it was 11.
It was strong.
It was right what I wanted.
Certainly very, very strong. Tom, what was your highlight as these strippers were walking by?
Well, that would be one. That'd be top 3.
Well, so let's preface it by this. AC Beer Fest, what are you going to get? You're going to get beer. Yes. You're going to get legalized dispensaries here on Baderfield.
Yes.
Selling legal pot. And believe it or not, I haven't smelled a lot of pot. Here and there, but not a lot.
Right.
Okay.
Live bands.
Live bands. You're going to get live entertainment. As you were noting, the circus theme this year was really fucking cool. You're going to get some of the local establishments promoting here, like Hooters, like the strip clubs, like anything else. What would you have? MGM, whatever, things like last year.
And just
so much stuff going on. Like, just the people watch takes up your day.
So it's a beer festival, but it's an everything fest.
It's an everything
really
fest.
is. And again, the theme was circus-like. And they really, I do have to say, so different from last year, even though it is the same.
Yeah.
But it really is.
Different vibe.
Everybody's really close.
Yep.
Yes, long lines at some of the breweries, but at the
Rightfully
same,
so for
at
some
the
of these
same
breweries.
token, the lines seem to be going fast. I haven't seen anybody yet that's disgruntled.
No bullshit.
Exactly.
No
No
shenanigans.
bullshit.
I think an abridged
shenanigans.
midday session helps with that, where
It
it's,
does.
Unless
coming
you're
in fresh.
pre-gamed, I guess
you
could.
are correct.
Yeah, everyone's coming in fresh, no pregame, and and we'll see what happens tonight. Maybe we'll have some stories for tomorrow to start the day.
Well, yeah, because this is
we're going to the strip club, right? Oh wait, no, we're going to Emo Night, Brooklyn Emo Night.
Brooklyn
That's what
Emo
we're
Night,
doing.
which we're excited for. It's somewhere out over there on the boardwalk. But yeah, there's just so much to do. Atlantic City is just like a haven for good times. I've always loved being down here, regardless of the crime and the nonsense.
And you don't have to go to the casino. You don't have to go to the strip club. The boardwalk has plenty to do.
Nope. Oh, we're not allowed. No, we don't throw those.
Don't throw those. So the bags are.
The bags are over there.
Oh, yeah.
How
are you supposed to even get this in?
That's a challenge. Now,
So
that's a game.
Plenty of people loving the brew bag,
Yes.
as per normal. I feel like every time they see it, they're like, "This is so much cooler than cornhole."
So as our sponsorship, we didn't even mention our sponsors at the top of the show. We're going to mention them probably at the top of tomorrow's show. But I'm going to mention them here at the back end. Today, we are sponsored by Brewbag. Brewbag for your beer pong, cornhole. Lots of people have been playing all day as we have it set up here. Lots of things going on. Brewbag, go to our Instagram and go ahead and click on the link in our link tree, and you get
sorry about that, guys. This guy thought that you throw the covers for the brew bag to get it in the hole, not the bags. And he finally realized, his drunken self realized that, how do you get these things in the hole?
Yeah, that would never happen.
That problem has probably been a thing in his life for longer than just.
How do you get it in the hole?
Mathematics has really left that gentleman. So today we're sponsored by Brewbag for your beer pong cornhole. Type in the promo code Wort for 10% off your order, or go to our link tree and get a percentage off your order. So we're also sponsored by Beer Maker.
Beer Maker, that 1 gallon home brew system, all grain. Unbelievably, you can make so many different recipes from Beer Maker.
Yes,
and it's all again
tabletop
all grain
brewing system.
Tabletop that goes right under your counter. They have anything you possibly want. You can make your own recipes, or you could do the recipes that they have: double IPAs, black IPAs.
We will be doing our own recipe.
We are going to be doing our own recipe
with Riverbend malt,
using Riverbend malt,
which is a upcoming show for those of you who want a spoiler alert.
Yep, we will be brewing that in the near future. Again, A beer maker is unbelievable. If you are living in a small, let's put it this way, if you don't want to spend a whole shitload of money on all this equipment to homebrew, and you don't want to clean everything all the time and all the sanitation,
here's my recommendation: cut that shit out, because Beer Maker has got you covered.
All the parts go right into your dishwasher, and you're good to go. And you're going to make yourself a gallon of beer that you can dispense right in your refrigerator with its own dispensing system, CO2 filled, so the beer never goes bad. And we've made 3-4 different beers.
Yeah, we got that one to go. I got 2 myself. We're going to be busting out some brews in the next few weeks. So to go to Beermaker, BERMKR.com, and type in promo code The Wort to read 10% off your order for a Beer Maker. And man, I can't say much more about it. Beer Maker is the best. Also today we are sponsored by VintageBeerShirtClub.com. Go to VintageBeerShirtClub.com for your Vintage Beer Shirt Club vintage beer shirts.
Yes.
Type in promo code The Wort to receive a percentage off your order, and you will enjoy VintageBeerShirtClub.com.
We got to see if they could do Vintage Beer Shirt Barrage.
Ooh,
because I guarantee people would buy those.
Submit your logo, he'll make it.
I would guarantee people would buy those Barrage shirts.
Yep.
Exactly. Way to put him on the spot live on air.
Yeah.
Now he has to.
Now he's got to do it, brother.
Go to VintageBeerShirtClub.com or our link in our link tree of our Instagram. Tonight we're also sponsored by Brewers Hardware. Brewers Hardware for your small batch or large capacity needs. Go to Brewers Hardware. Thanks to those guys for sending out some gift certificates for our brewery guests.
Yes, thank you so much,
and
guys.
Thanks for all the merch and everything. Go to brewershardware.com and the promo code type in The Wort, and to receive a percentage off your order. And again, thanks for being a continuous sponsor on the show. We are also sponsored by Physics for your dispensing needs for 750 milliliter or crowler or even 16-ounce cans right on tap on your countertop. Go to physics.com, or again, a link in our link tree. Receive 20% off your order. That's someone that dropped the glass.
It's another broken
You
glass.
heard it. You heard.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. They won't be taking a token home today.
Nope.
Someone just ruined their weekend. Go to physics.com for that. Anyone I'm missing?
Rosie's Draft
Oh, well, motherfucker.
We always save the best for last.
Oh, there you go. I like it.
They are,
because I totally surpassed that as usually our first one, because you walked away, and I went right into brew bags. Okay.
Well, Rosie's Draft Solution is a Long Island family-owned business that provides professional draft beer system services, line cleanings and maintenance, draft beer line system installs, vent dispensing solutions, and more. They are passionate about craft beer and making sure that it has the same quality as when it left the brewery. It's only done by making sure those draft system lines are perfectly clean. Rosie's services bars, restaurants, halls, events, and all other beverage establishments, including, which I've been seeing a lot of, home kegerated installs across Long Island and Westchester County. Probably within the last week, I've seen at least 3 or 4 being installed by Rosie's. And not only will they install it, they'll show you how to goddamn use it and take care of it. Because that's what they want to do.
That's their job.
They want to make sure, and they'll come back and clean it for you. You can reach them at rosiesdraftsolutions@gmail.com, or you can call them at 631-219-2075, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mention The Wort, you're going to get a nice little discount. And again, you never know, you might get touched on, you took us.
Yeah, and if you have a beer belly, they'll clean underneath that. If you have a little fupa, you can clean underneath that.
No, they're not doing that.
Some boob sweat.
They're not doing it.
Oh, I thought that was what they were extending to.
Nick said we're not doing that.
Shit. All right, sorry, Nick. But he will give you a little tap on the keister. So go ahead and go to rosiesdraftsolutions.com. Gentlemen, great day today.
Awesome day today.
And fantastic weather.
And guess
what? We're going
to
probably have it even better tomorrow.
Yes.
But
tomorrow is, well...
Hi.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hi. Right at the very end. We're about to wrap up. And
we get somebody that just comes out of nowhere.
What is your name, sir?
What's going on, boys?
Hold on, let me turn you up.
Yeah, turn you on.
Otherwise, it's a lot of background noise. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Your name?
My name's Ryan.
Ryan, what's going on?
Nothing.
Have you been to AC Beer Fest before?
I have.
You're a seasoned veteron, we'll call you.
I wouldn't say seasoned veteran, but I've been here once or twice.
All right.
Okay. Where have you been when it's inside?
I have.
Oh, so you're a veteran.
Yes, you are a veteran.
Okay.
What is your take on the Outside Beer Fest? Were you here last year for Outside?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been coming. You know the deal.
Last year sucked. Let's call it was.
Well, let's
It was very big,
explain.
very spread out.
It was spread out. and
Not as many tickets sold either because they capped it. But
what's it was hot as shit.
Yeah,
I don't want
yes,
to
it
curse.
was.
You know,
No, you can.
fine.
You can say fuck shit, cunt, fuck
anything.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was fucking hot.
Shit.
Yeah, it was
Shit's-
90 degrees
Yeah.
on Saturday for
Yeah.
sure. Terrible.
It was brutal.
It was hot.
Yes.
And
What do
there
you
was
think
that
about it now?
rainstorm.
Today was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Beautiful.
Breeze off the
Bands, I gotta say, is what made it today. They got better bands today,
Yeah.
this year.
Are you coming back tomorrow?
I wish I was. to see Newfound Glory.
Newfound Glory.
Do you live local? You're in New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. I got a question for you after we get off the air.
Okay.
All right, and I got you covered.
All right.
Really quick. Didn't like Less Than Jake last year?
I did. I'm a huge Les and Jake.
All right.
So we're good.
All right.
But
We're good.
I mean,
We're ready to throw you off.
You talking Thrice and Alkaline Trio though?
Yeah.
Compared to Less Than Jake, I love Less Than Jake. Let's keep it real. But
you're
those
right.
two bands,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, would you be a fan of 4 Years Strong and Newfound Glory?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So we got some talkings and discussions to do
Yeah.
after the show today. Trust me.
You might be happy.
You might be happy about
Should I
it.
just leave now or?
No, not at all, bro. You might be the lucky guy today.
Yeah. Ryan, tell me a little bit about your experience with AC Beer Fest and what was the highlight of today?
Today, I gotta say they did a better job of coming in. Last year,
Okay.
they did the whole. It was like a mile long coming in.
Yes.
To find things. So we said this year we were gonna come and hit the back first, right?
Smart idea.
Right.
Yep.
And then we came in this year and it was super shortened.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So we went left and half of our group went right, and we were all disoriented this year. But I will say it was better in the sense that we didn't have to go a mile to get to
Yes.
everything, right? So
And
wherever
they
it
did
was
shorten
so
it.
crowded. Right?
They did shorten it this year.
Right.
They made it more compact, so everything was rather close instead of like originally last year. Remember, it was just a mile to come
Yeah,
down past all the
absolutely.
breweries.
Absolutely.
And you probably never went back to those
Absolutely.
guys.
Yeah.
Here's my complaint though about this
Go
year.
ahead.
Okay.
Put some porta potties in the front. I had to piss so
They're
bad
right there.
coming in.
Bro, they're
No,
literally
they
right
were in.
there.
You know how long the line was to come
Yeah,
in?
no,
oh my god, I thought
okay,
I
you mean
fucking died.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes
Gotcha,
sense. I like
gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. They had first they were thinking about putting it out over there, right where you parked and came in.
Just something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought about pissing in the river. I'm not even gonna lie.
Did
Remember
you-
where the bay, whatever the fuck that is? Yeah.
Did you pre-game before you got here?
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
Come on.
And I'm not saying you
Of
don't.
course,
You
man.
don't.
You
You
have to.
have to.
Come on.
You have to.
Some
But
Miller
then it's
lattes
gotta-
before I came
you
in.
gotta-
There you go. There
But
you
you
go.
gotta know that people are gonna be doing that.
100%.
Coming to.
100%.
Are you gonna be doing something out into the city today?
In this city, no.
Like
No,
leaving
we-
here today, just go
no.
home?
We ended up doing the package with the jitney that
Okay.
picks us up at the house.
Oh,
We do
okay,
that
all
every
right.
year.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
which
okay.
is
That's
awesome,
smart.
right? Like
Smart.
you know what I mean.
So, are you around tomorrow at all?
no. Like I said, I wish I was because the bands are awesome, right?
Yeah.
bro.
We can't now have that conversation.
I thought I established that before we came in.
No, I'm sorry.
Fuck you. I'm
That
out.
sucks. Overall, what was your favorite brewery? What's your favorite beer? Like, what do you like the best?
My favorite.
Well, let's say this: if you were here today, did you go back to something twice, 3 times that you just kept getting back to?
I mean, honestly, whatever the shortest line was. What about that?
Yeah, well,
you talking
it
4
did.
hours?
Yeah, it did get that way.
After 3 hours, no one gives a fuck about taste. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Like I just went to whatever the fuck was
Right.
And actually
came here
now
for the beer.
I almost wish that I didn't sit down here because you
You're
guys
missing
are
out.
You're missing out more
literally
beer.
interfere with
You,
my
they,
Hey, look, you see,
my man. That's my man.
your man right
That's my
there.
man.
Your man took care of you.
My
right
man.
next door. Barrier's number
You went
one
boom right
IPA
there.
on Long Island.
Okay, then they're the best. All right.
So, I mean, overall, though, what was the best experience here? Did you go to any of the circus-based stuff? Did you see anything of the events and things like that besides the music?
Honestly, well, that's a problem, right? With this, it's a rush to that music festival, right? You come in, and I said, let's go hit the back, right? So
Right. That's
we
good.
went to go hit the back, right?
Yep.
To go do it, and before I know it, it's 2:00. Now Thrice is playing.
Yes.
I want to fucking see Thrice play.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're
Me too.
fucking awesome, right?
Favorite album?
My favorite album?
Yeah.
Don't laugh. Artist Nameless.
Yeah,
the most emo.
Oh,
no,
bro. I said that on the way here.
Yeah,
I said,
but hands down, let's keep it real, man. That album is fucking front to back. You listen to every
Yep.
song on the
Yep.
album, right? Everything after that, I like the newer, like Palms was like acoustically cool, right?
This was okay.
See, this is great to hear.
This is a real Thrice fan because that's what I came up with is Artist in the Ambulance from start to finish the whole album.
Yeah, hands down.
Straight through.
No other Thrice album had even their first album, fucking Illusion
all
of
right.
Safety.
Yeah.
Awesome, right? It was awesome, but
Deadbolt.
is it front
Deadbolt was a good song.
Deadbolt,
But
and
what
I
else?
love fucking Avenge the
yeah.
Awakened. Oh man,
Yep.
that shit was fucking awesome, right?
Yep.
But you got to give it to Amy's, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, without doubt. We were all about
it's a
that.
groundbreaking album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And from what they did and from where they were to where they are is a totally different band now.
Right.
And that's why I'm like,
amazing, and I love the transition. That's such like I have guys that are like into my friends are like some of them are into hip hop, stuff like that. And some of the stuff they do is like kind of has that electronic drum beat and stuff like that.
Yeah, well they
so like, oh,
evolved.
this is cool. I can get into this, right? You know, so like I want to see that shit, right? Like, but then they hear that metal shit. And I was in the pit out there today. You know, the minimal pit that you call it.
So let me ask you: did you come here for the music or for the beer, or for both?
I always come for the beer, but when I heard that that Thrice was playing today, you know, Alkaline Trio is great too, right? A huge staple, right? But when I heard that Thrice was playing, like that was just the icing on the fucking cupcake, right? Like I gotta come here, man. Like,
I've seen Newfound Glory for tomorrow probably 24 times. But I'm coming, I love 4 Year Strong. To me, 4 Year Strong is one of my newest favorite bands of all time. And that style, I mean, I come from, the 90s skate punk kind of era. That was the icing on the cake for me for tomorrow.
Okay.
And Thrice for Artisan Ambulance is the icing on the cake. I'm not as much into Alkaline Trio. I honestly don't think Skiba can hold his voice anymore.
Can we?
Really? It was Skiba's voice is.
When we were walking. Well, I understand.
We did. We walked over for a little bit.
On those new records, right? He sounds like he kind of like it got like a fucking octave lower, right?
Yes.
Like it
well,
almost sounds like that,
he had
right?
throat surgery.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he had throat surgery like a few years ago.
Yeah, I didn't even know
it was either cancerous or not, but whatever. He got surgery on it and threw him off. Now he has to sing a whole octave lower than what he used to. He used to be all the way up there, and it was.
Still cool sound, though, right? On that new shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, old school Alkaline Trio, not the newer stuff, but again, the original album back in like 2004 or whatever, that first or second album.
Yeah.
Classic. Other than that, I mean, I can't stay, and the new Blink albums are okay, but I miss Tom.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
that was the band. Let's be honest.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like that was like the fucking energy of that band, right? Like
until you start believing in fucking all the
UFOs, and shit.
Not just like the average person
spending
believes
all
in
his
them.
money.
That's part of the charm.
The way you're wearing the
like,
NASA shirt too.
If he's still
fucking the bury me,
if
that's
he's
where
still,
I'm at. That's why I'm more of a Thrice fan than Alkaline.
Yeah,
I like it. You know what I mean? Like
I like it.
I want to hear those riffs. You know, those crunchy ass riffs.
Yeah. Brian, really appreciate it. We're wrapping up here. We're about to get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on.
Yeah,
Anything
brother.
you want to plug? Anything you want to talk
I
about?
got shit, man. I just sat down here, man. So I saw an open headphone and I threw that shit on. Let's keep it real.
Well, listen, not everyone does it, so I appreciate it.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Yeah,
man.
no
Good
doubt,
interview.
guys.
I love
Appreciate it.
Thank you. This episode will air in 2 Mondays from now, and they'll be on the podcast version on all the platforms. There's a QR code up here if you want to hear yourself on the radio. You'll be on there.
Tell all your buddies.
No.
Thanks, guys.
Ryan, really appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Ryan, a patron here at AC Beer Fest, hanging out. And it's the one of Mike P and Steve GubsRadio.com. And this is wrapping up day 1. We'll be back here tomorrow for some more fun and shenanigans. And again, really appreciate everyone over at Good Time Tricycle for having us again.
Yes, as always.
Bree, John, the whole crew, everyone's doing an awesome job. Had a great time today. And we will see you tomorrow, bright and early, Sunday, AC Beer Fest, Session 2. And we out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me?
Please hang up and try again.
This has been The Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.